We are tonight's entertainment.
What the fuck is this, Jet?
This is a tasty burger.
Were you rushing or were you dragging?
You like Huey Lewis on the news?
Is this your homework, Larry?
Why just spill your beans?
Welcome back.
The eagerly awaited return
The Film Scoop.
of the Film Scoop.
We're fucking back.
Back like we never left, you know what I mean?
I haven't been well the past 2 weeks.
Yep.
That's why we haven't recorded. To just put it plainly, I was sick. And I'll just leave it there.
Yeah, that's all we can do.
I was not in a state to record, and a physical state or mental state. So
Dude, you were going through it.
it was a rough time.
I was worried about you.
It was a rough time.
Yeah.
But finally got to a state where I feel like I can record again. So,
Yeah.
and yes, could I have pumped out a less than adequate scoop? Sure, I could have.
Yeah,
That's
but
not what this is about.
It's not going to be the same.
You don't tune into the Film Scoop to hear lackluster shit.
Yeah.
You tap into the Film Scoop.
We do
to
a lot of...
hear the bread and butter, the meat and potatoes,
Let me give you a quick list of things.
creme de la creme.
Let me give you a quick list of things we don't do around here. Mediocrity.
Yep.
That's one of them.
We
That's
won't have it.
No,
We
never.
will not have it.
I'm allergic to it, dude. That's why I'm coughing every time. That's why I'm coughing every
Anytime you cough, it's because you sniffed mediocrity.
It's because I said something retarded. I gave myself an allergic reaction, dude.
That's
I'm
why
dying.
you coughed after your 2049 take.
Yeah. I'm surprised I didn't throw up after my tragedy.
Tragedy.
I should have just imploded, dude. God almighty.
All right, yeah. So we're back. We have a decent amount to talk about. There's been a big piece of news that came out, and I have a ton on my watch list because we haven't recorded in we missed 2 episodes, which means I think the last time we recorded was 3 weeks ago.
Yeah,
So I
I'm
have
pretty
3
sure
weeks
you
worth-
didn't watch
worth
my
of-
movie recommendation as well.
I'm pretty sure. Fuck you.
I'm pretty sure you had
pretty
more
sure
than
kiss
enough
my
time,
ass.
and you ignored it.
Carl, you kept throwing out, you kept
I'm gonna be sick.
you kept throwing out Brawl in Cell Block 99 when I wasn't feeling well, and when I tell you that was the last thing I wanted to watch when I was feeling like that.
You know what?
There
Here's
was
the deal. I'm not gonna spoil your watch list, but there's a poopy pants movie on there that you could have definitely watched Brawl in Cell Block 99 instead.
Well, we'll get into
I'm
that.
not gonna say anything.
We'll get into that, but
I know you could have made it happen. You made a conscious decision to not make it happen.
there was sometimes when I feel really bad, I can't even watch movies because I just I don't know what it is about me. Sometimes I get sick and all I want to do is just lay down and watch movies. And sometimes I just can't even give it the brain power, and I just can't watch movies, and I just sit there lobotomized all day,
Yeah.
I'm staring at a wall. So there was a good week where I wasn't even watching anything, but then the next week I started craving just binging movies. So that's what I did.
Cash gets sick once every 2 years, but when he does, he
It's
dies.
DEFCON 3.
Yeah, he dies.
Yeah, it's
Bad.
I actually busted out I don't know if I told you this, but I busted out a 2 a.m. drive.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
dude, that's when he's really having a hard time.
There was, when I had COVID 3 years ago, I didn't sleep for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And that sounds like I'm exaggerating. I'm not exaggerating. I could not. I went to the doctor and was like, dude, shoot me in the fucking head. Give me something. Give me fucking morphine or something to help me sleep. I'm not getting a second of sleep, and I'm dying here.
Dude, I want you to imagine a psychopath, drugged up in a sanitarium. That's what you were. 'Cause
Yeah.
I came in one day, and he was sitting on the couch with his eyes closed, sitting up straight almost. And the TV was playing, and I changed it, and he was, "What are you doing?" And I go, "Oh shit, dude, I thought you were asleep." And he goes, "No." And I was like, "Well, do you want to watch something?" He goes, "No." my eyes hurt. And he just didn't even open his eyes or acknowledge me in any way.
Yeah.
But just laid there planted on the couch.
When I had COVID, the house I lived in, which is this house, didn't have AC.
It's the worst time.
So I was already like had a fever and was half dead, and then the house didn't have AC. So I went and stayed in a hotel so I could have some AC to fucking exist in, and still couldn't sleep. I think out of a 24-hour day when I had COVID, 18 of the hours were spent pacing around my hotel room in a circle. Like I was like when I sometimes I just dude I just I'm fucking weird, I guess. I don't know. When I get sick, not like a cold, like, you know, you have a sore throat and chills and like
Yeah, not like standard,
that. Like when that happens, I just lay down and I take medicine and I get better. But
take it
like
like a man.
it's more like when you don't know what's wrong.
Yeah.
And like I was going to the doctor and they couldn't tell me what was wrong. So then you start like freaking out and overthinking and getting into a dark place in your head. And what I do when that happens is I just like pace around.
Yeah.
Like,
and then you
for no
can't
reason.
sleep on top of it because you're like wired because of what's going on.
Yeah. So when I was during COVID, like it would be like 3 a.m. and I still couldn't sleep. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to go get in my car and like drive around and maybe like getting some fresh air and like not even go anywhere. Just drive around in circles just to be outside and do something different.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll help me get more tired or something. I don't know. And then one of the times I did that at 3 a.m., I fell asleep when I was driving and I hit the side of the road and my rim fell off on my wheel.
Yeah, dude.
And I woke up the next morning and I looked at my car and I was like, huh. Like I didn't know I lost it when it happened.
You just thought you just had a little bump.
I was like, oh, I hit the curb. Huh.
Yeah.
And then I turned back on the road and everything was, you know, back to normal. But then I looked at my car and I was like, what the fuck? I'm missing a rim. So I went back to where I hit the curb the last night and it was just sitting there in the road.
Jesus Christ.
So I picked it up and put it back on.
Yeah. I think at one point I bumped into you and a binder of papers fell out of your bag and it just said, all work and no play makes cash a dull boy. Over and over.
I'm not going to hurt you.
Yeah, dude. You were
bash your
you were like
brains
one
in.
night away
Yeah,
from
it was-
being Jack Nicholson.
It was a bad time.
Yeah.
But this wasn't that bad, but it's just like I kept going to the doctor and they weren't telling me what was wrong, so I kept freaking out and like overthinking, and I was just in a rough spot. But point is, eventually I got to the point where I could start watching movies, and then that's all I did was like 3 movies a day pretty much.
Yeah.
Like nonstop, just watching
I mean,
movies.
breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
So normally my watch list is like 5 or 6 movies, sometimes less, sometimes it's like 3.
Yeah.
I have 25 things on my watch list.
Holy cow, dude.
Because we haven't recorded in 3 weeks, on top of the fact that I wasn't working and I was staying home watching movies all day. So if the watch list isn't your favorite part of the scoop every week, sorry. Because that's pretty much all this episode's going to be.
I've got some, I've got a couple things on my watch list.
I know. I'm aware. That's what I'm saying. It's going to, this whole episode's pretty much going to be our watch list from the past 3 weeks. But we also are going to rank the X-Men movies in honor, in light of Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah.
So I've been
you know
consuming
what?
a lot of X-Men recently.
I didn't really ask for enough information on that. Are we including like Deadpool in the X-Men movies?
Of course.
Shit.
What are you fucking stupid? What do you have, shit for brains?
Of course. Of course.
Yeah, we are including that.
Okay.
I have 14 movies on mine. So that's how many there should
I'll
be.
have to look at my ranking as we continue on.
Also, by the way, just so the scoopers know, Carl apparently he hurt his back today at work.
You know,
He came in here and like normally I sit on the bed and he sits in the chair, and I pulled the chair up for him to sit down. He was like, "Oh, I'm not using that," and then he just started laying down on the floor.
Yeah, I'm on the floor right now,
And I was like, "What are you doing?" He was like, "I need to lay on something flat," and I was like, "Lay on the bed. I'll sit in the chair." He was like, "I need to lay on something flat." I was like, "What do you think the bed is? Fucking a cylinder?"
Your bed is too soft. I need cylinder. You dumb fuck. What the hell are you talking about? I need something firm and flat to lay on.
My bed's firm.
Dude, your bed is soft as hell.
Thanks.
Bed's softer than you are, dude. How about that?
That takes a lot.
Yeah.
So Carl's laying on the floor, staring at the ceiling while we record this.
I was making eye contact.
Minimum eye contact.
I was making eye contact.
Occasional eye contact, but not nearly as much as normal.
It's never. Yeah, it's not as much as like me gazing into your eyes like I normally do. But
Yeah.
I'm still here, and you know what? I'm not going to delay the people like you did. Okay, I'm here to do my thing, and that's tell them dumb information and not know things. And this back injury, not going to stop me.
stopping that.
Not going to stop me, dude.
All right, we got 2 pieces of news. There was a lot of news that came out this week because of Comic-Con, but I'm not going to talk about any of it except for the most important thing.
Yep.
Which is Doctor Doom.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about what you told me already.
What did I tell you?
The confirmation that the Batman is going to start
Yeah, that
filming.
was what was next up.
Okay.
The Batman 2 has now been confirmed to be shooting next year,
Yeah.
which by Matt Reeves from the goat's mouth himself. He spoke the words, and he said it's filming next year. So now I have a little peace of mind.
Yeah. When you told me that, I thought balloons were going to fall. Like I thought you had something set up when you're like the Batman's confirmed filming. I thought you were going to pull out a cake or something.
No, I'm just happy. I'm just happy with all the James Gunn shit that's going on, and Warner Brothers talking about not going bankrupt and needing to merge with some other company because they have no funds. It's
How about James Gunn is going to get you the funds?
well, Superman doesn't come out for a year.
James Gunn will get you the money.
Anyways, yeah, that's confirmed. So now I'm pretty rock hard. But the more controversial news is that Doctor Doom has been cast for the MCU, and I would go as far as to say it's possibly the worst decision you could have possibly made.
I agree with that as well. When you told me this, I was like, they're messing with us.
There's a lot of people defending it and saying like, yeah, it's a little weird to cast the guy who played your main character for 15 years to play the main villain. But he's a good actor, so it's fine. I'm going to disagree there. I don't think it's fine. I think Doctor Doom is a character that is notorious in the comics. He's one of the biggest Marvel villains they have.
Yeah.
And he's never been done right on screen. So this isn't a character like Wolverine or Iron Man or someone like that that's been done perfectly, and then you're trying to like recast it, and it's like, well, how are they going to live up to this?
Yeah.
It's like, this is a character that's a clean slate that you can cast anyone, and you can now have the definitive version of Doctor Doom.
Yeah.
And there's so many talented actors out there, and there's so many unknown people, like how Cornsweat was cast as Superman. Like, it doesn't always have to be fucking Ryan Gosling.
Yeah,
it doesn't have to be an A-lister.
face. And the crazy part is, I feel like Marvel specifically started that whole thing of just
They're
picking
great
up
at
no
casting.
name. Yeah, they picked up people.
Hemsworth was a nobody.
Yeah, I had no idea who Hemsworth was. I saw him and I was like, that guy looks just like Thor.
Yep.
And he played a good Thor.
Yep.
And I feel like it's weird that they would go back. Like they put RDJ back on the map, like made his career almost, and now circling back to him, which is like crazy.
Yeah. When I'm thinking about, like, if I was tasked with, I'm at Marvel Studios and my job is to cast the next Doctor Doom. Like, think about the options that you have there. Like, Doctor Doom, like I said, he's never been done before well. So you can, like, it's a clean slate. You can pick anybody you want. My pick, I was going to ask you if you had, like, a dream Doctor Doom casting. Mine is Dev Patel.
Oh my god, dude.
I know that typically Doctor Doom is Romanian. and that it would be cool to get a Romanian actor, but I'm not sure what actor is what.
Yeah, I don't know if I know of many like full like Romanian people.
Yeah, but I think whether he's like
Habib
exactly Romanian or not, that's like, these are actors.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to cast a paraplegic to play a paraplegic.
Yeah.
And you don't have to cast a gay person to play a gay character. So you don't have to cast like a Romanian to play a Romanian, but it would be nice if it was like a person of color, like a Middle Eastern person or something that could like pull off a Romanian,
Yeah, I mean, maybe I don't know. I'm not like super familiar with Doctor Doom and like how big him being Romanian is.
Apparently, it's a big part of his like character and his motivations for why he does what he does.
Okay, that makes because
that's
like
what people said.
You look at someone like Daredevil and you know that he's religious, but if you don't know a lot about Daredevil, you think, well, that's something we don't really need to pay attention to.
Yeah.
But like that's a key point of his character, so I didn't know if like how deep those roots ran with Doctor Doom.
Yeah.
So if it is a big point, then I get it, but no, I think Dev is an incredibly talented actor
who's never really done like a dark character from my recollection.
No, he's always been like a good guy.
Yeah, it'd be cool to see him do like a fucked up.
Yeah, I could see it though.
Character.
I see the rage in his eyes. Dude.
Yeah,
he could definitely do it.
But the point is like, this has nothing to do with if Robert Downey Jr. is a good fit for Doctor Doom. I think that's irrelevant. He could be the perfect fit. It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. You don't cast the same actor as a different character in the same franchise.
Yeah.
That's fucking stupid.
And it's it's like I was sitting here thinking,
imagine if X-Men cast fucking Hugh Jackman as Apocalypse.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if he'd make a good Apocalypse or not. That doesn't matter. That's not the point. He's already a character in the universe. He can't play any more characters.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like, there are actors like Wes Anderson uses the same actors like over and over again.
Right.
But each of his movies are all different, isolated stories.
Yeah. Christopher Nolan has Michael Caine in every movie.
Yeah.
But they're all different.
Exactly.
He doesn't have Michael Caine play Alfred and fucking Joker.
Yeah.
In the same movie. He hasn't played one character per series.
Exactly. Yeah. It feels really bizarre.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the hell's going on with that.
Dude, it's just it's a soulless pick. Like, it's just Marvel's in the shitter, and they tried to do something that would, for good or bad, stir up conversation.
Yeah.
And stir up intrigue.
And I don't want, like, I do feel like some hate's going to get directed at RDJ. Like, I don't think he's doing anything wrong. Like, people called him, said, do you want some money to do a job? And he said yes. Like, that's what he does.
Yeah.
It's solely Marvel in the casting.
Will he do a good job as Doctor Doom? I'm sure he will.
Yeah, he's a great actor.
I'm sure he'll be a good Doctor Doom. That's not the point. It's from the fans' perspective, like watching the movie. We have to watch Doctor Doom be played by a guy that looks just like Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Yes, he'll probably have a different haircut, and he'll be wearing makeup or something that'll make him look a little different, but that's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Like, the only wrong choice for casting is casting someone who's already in the universe.
Yeah.
That's you could cast fucking Michael Cera as Doctor Doom. I don't care what you say. Like, that makes more sense than Robert Downey Jr.
No,
because he's not in the universe.
If I was locked in a room with Osama bin Laden and fucking Muammar Gaddafi and Michael Cera and I had a gun with 2 bullets, I'd shoot him twice. And I still think I would be happier if they cast him instead of Robert Downey Jr.
It's just...
It's so insane.
Yeah.
Like, hey, here's a handful of people in the world you can't have. And they're like, we want them.
Yeah.
We want that one.
It's choosing money and hype over creativity and like what's the word I'm trying to think of? Like character integrity.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it doesn't feel like they made this choice. They did not choose Robert Downey Jr. because he was the best person to play the role.
Yeah.
If you think that, you're fucking stupid. They did not pick him for that reason.
Yeah.
They picked him because they knew what would happen if they did. It would get everyone curious about it, and it would get a bunch of certain fans really happy and certain fans very hesitant, and that's why they did it. They did not do it because he was the best for the role. That's definitely not the case. So I think it's fucking stupid. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
But
I kind of hope that people start falling off like even more from the Marvel bandwagon after that, because it does seem like it feels dirty. I feel like
yeah,
I feel gross that
it's like they're not taking it seriously. That's kind of what it feels like to me.
Yeah,
Like they're not taking their universe and taking it seriously and respecting the comics that everyone loves.
yeah,
That's how it feels to me. It's kind of like a slap in the face. Like, oh, we can do whatever we want.
yeah. And you'll sit there and take it
Yeah,
like good little boys.
yeah. Because, yeah. Anyways, I think we talked long enough about that. But that's kind of all the news that I felt like covering. There was a leaked Fantastic Four little teaser. It's like cell phone footage that they showed at Comic-Con, and it's pretty cool looking.
Oh, really?
They've got like the 60s vibe that showed up on the poster, and it looks pretty cool.
Yeah, dude.
I'm really excited for Fantastic Four. I don't have a lot of faith in Marvel, but I'm just hoping they get that right because I grew up with the Fantastic Four, and it's kind of the only comic book movie I grew up with as a kid. I don't know why. I think it was just
crazy.
It was one of the ones that was on TV all the time, and I think we had it on DVD. So it was the one I would just watch all the time.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie, like I actually liked Fantastic Four movies as a kid, but when Rise of the Silver Surfer came out, dude, and I saw him on screen and he went through the building.
Me.
Oh, I wasn't
scary.
a pussy, dude. I thought he was badass.
Oh yeah.
I was like
Right, I forgot, yeah.
Yeah. When he
No, fuck me, yeah.
when he went through the building and came out like slow-mo, I was like, oh my god, dude. And then he did that thing where he like leaned down and went through his board and looked backwards. I was like, this guy's penis is huge.
Yeah.
That was around the time I was like, big penis is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't grow up with Spider-Man or X-Men or anything. Batman. I didn't grow up with comic book movies. My parents didn't show them to me. So Fantastic Four was the only thing I grew up with, so I hope they get it right because I like those characters. And the trailer looks cool. And it looks like it has, like, it seems like Marvel may be finally understanding, like, let directors add style to their movies. Because I don't know if it was Matt Shackman's idea, the director, or if it was something that, like, Feige instructed, but the 60s vibe looks really cool. And if they stick with that 60s vibe for the whole movie and the aspect ratio and everything, like, it could be pretty special.
Yeah.
So, and I feel like Deadpool and Wolverine has, like, a pretty intense style, too.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's pretty much all the news. We'll get into our X-Men trivia.
Okay.
I'll start.
Run it.
Where is Charles Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters located?
Oh, fuck. I got no clue.
No clue, huh?
No idea.
Westchester, New York.
Oh. Does not seem like New York.
Yeah.
It's like a magical forest that he lives in.
Yeah. Who directed X-Men First Class?
First Class. Fuck. I don't think I know that one either.
Argyle. Kingsman.
Oh, fuck. What's the damn name? God damn it. I forgot his fucking name.
Matthew Vaughn.
Vaughn, yeah.
Yep. Which also...
I know Bryan Singer.
Well, it's not the one you want to know.
I know.
I make fun of Brett Ratner all the time because he sucks, but he's also, like, a horrible person. who has a bunch of sexual assault.
Oh shit, I didn't know that.
Stuff.
I thought he was just shitty at his job.
Yeah, but it turns out Brett Ratner and Bryan Singer both have a ton of sexual assault, like, not charges isn't the right word, but like accusations.
Yeah.
But Bryan Singer is decent at directing movies, so like I don't make fun of him as much, but fuck him too.
Yeah.
But by the way, X-Men First Class, easily the sauciest X-Men film.
Oh yeah.
Like the direction is never something that stands out during X-Men movies. Like it's very basic direction, but X-Men First Class is the only one with like crazy score and these like transitions they use. I don't know if you remember them, but like Matthew Vaughn it's kind of like watching a Kingsman movie.
You know,
it's kind of like X-Men directed like Kingsman. It's pretty fucking cool.
You know what I remember specifically from First Class that I always like is grinding into my head because I love the moment, but it's the back and forth when Magneto moves the coin of them setting up Professor X with Sebastian Shaw. Is that his name? Yeah, and they cut back and forth.
Yeah.
Dude, it's so sick.
Yeah.
And the bar scene, dude.
Yeah, Magneto takes Shaw's helmet and puts it on him.
Yeah.
Charles is like, no.
I actually didn't like care a lot about Magneto until Fassbender took the role.
Dude, we'll talk about it. We'll get into it. But my last question is, which two actors have played Cyclops in live action?
It's James Marsden and that fucking Ty Sheridan. I
wasn't sure if you'd know Ty Sheridan's name.
Yeah, he was in Ready Player One. Great movie.
The best movie ever made.
Yeah. The best movie ever.
Ready Player One, Steven Spielberg.
Yeah. His number one hit.
Yeah. Yeah, that's mine.
Okay.
You go ahead.
My first question is, what happens to a toad when it's struck by lightning?
The same thing that happens to everything else.
Dude, that's bullshit.
That's fucking horseshit,
bullshit, dude. All right. Once I get through this, I'm going to lay back down. Okay. What two characters in X-Men, this is X-Men as a whole, have telepathic blocking helmets?
Magneto and Juggernaut.
Boom. Got it.
Yep.
Fucking aced it. And
I'm going to rip you in half now.
who created Cerebro?
Hank.
Hank created? Yeah, dude, you're fucking crushing
Dude, I've been in X-Men for like 2 weeks now.
Yeah, dude,
like,
you're...
I live at the school for gifted youngsters now. Yeah. Like, I have a dorm.
I came in here and I was like, dude, you look like a youngster right now.
Yeah.
What is Quicksilver's real name?
Peter Maximoff.
Yep. What two songs played during his slow-mo sequences?
Time in a Bottle and Sweet Dreams.
Oh my god, dude, you're nuts.
You can't get me on X-Men. I'm in now. I'm an X-Men.
He's wearing the Cyclops glasses right now.
He's locked in.
Yeah.
He's wired in.
Oh god.
Is that all your questions?
Yeah, that's all my questions. The fucking the song question I just did just now, to test you.
I have a Mandela effect where I always think in Days of Future Past that Quicksilver scene is Sweet Dreams. I always think that scene has Sweet Dreams playing, but it's an Apocalypse.
Oh yeah.
I think it's just because I prefer Sweet Dreams. Like I think it fits the scene
wish
better.
that Sweet Dreams was in a good movie?
Yeah, that too. Yeah. Yeah, well, that's all for the trivia and shit, so we'll get into the old Watcherino. Going back a long way. Okay.
I can
July
start
9th.
with one that I didn't finish because it'll be quick.
Okay.
I started Sin City late at night. Thought I had the. Thought you had the juice. Yeah, dude. I thought I had some wind in my sails, but I fucking crashed. I got pretty deep in. I got about halfway through it, and I don't know how I feel about it, to be honest with you. Obviously, I'm not finished with it, but the style of movie that it is, I just don't know how it sits with me. Because it's like very clearly like guys on a sound stage with backdrops, and that works with me sometimes. Like I will appreciate like beautiful sets and stuff, but it's all black and white, and they are very true to the comics. Like there's sequences that are panel for panel out of the comics, but I don't know. The performances are kind of rough.
Are you watching this on streaming or Blu-ray?
Streaming.
Here's what you can do. If you're having trouble getting through it, don't know if you like it too much, buy the Blu-ray and then watch it with the Quentin Tarantino commentary.
Oh my god.
That's what you should do.
He has a commentary on it?
He has a commentary on there because
Holy
he's like
shit.
best friends with Robert Rodriguez.
Yeah, it came up as like guest director Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah.
So I was like, this shit's gonna be fire.
Yeah. You should check that out.
Yeah.
I wish
might buy it
Tarantino
just
did
for that.
commentaries for his own movies. Dude, I'd fucking kill. I wish more directors did commentaries.
Yeah.
Like, no one does them anymore. It's the only one of my favorite directors that does them is Fincher. Nolan doesn't do them. Tarantino doesn't do them. Denis doesn't do them. Michael Mann does them.
Dude. Mann does
Michael
them?
Mann does almost all of his movies.
You should buy a Ferrari.
But yeah, if you're having trouble getting through Sin City, I bet that would help the runtime go by.
It would. I mean, it's fine to get through. I just like, I feel like people talk about Sin City and they kind of like it a lot, and I kind of wasn't. The Marv storyline like picked it up a lot, but at first I was kind of like really not liking it. But
Okay.
it picked up a little bit. I'll see how it ends.
Oh yeah. Do you just want to go through your stuff that you watched without me? now?
Yeah. Another one. You finished it with me, but I started it without you. Deepwater Horizon
Oh yeah.
was a movie that I've had for a while that I never watched, and you kept on saying, "Yeah, you can do that without me." So,
It's not that I think the movie's bad. It's just it's not something I need to rewatch.
Yeah, no, I liked it though. I thought it was really good. Kind of look into what happened with that whole thing. It's what you expect. Like it didn't like blow me away.
Yeah.
It's exactly what I thought it was gonna be. It was
Oh, yeah.
good performances.
You're gonna
you
keep
know.
the steelbook.
Yeah. Very tragic thing that happened. But like the performances, like the visuals, like it's just kind of a true story movie situation. So yeah, I liked it. And then I watched True Romance, which I'm not going to get into too much detail because I know you want to watch it.
Yeah.
But it's the only Arrow video that I own. Looks fucking. I mean, it looks like it's gonna put a big old smile.
Even
on
if
your
you
balls.
hated the movie, you'd have to keep that.
Yeah, dude,
It just looks too cool.
As I was putting it in, I was like, God, I hope I like this because I have to keep it now. But it was fucking awesome, dude.
I've heard there's a racist monologue in it.
a racist monologue.
I think it's Dennis Hopper. Is he in that movie?
Dennis Hopper. I don't
Maybe it's not
think
Dennis
so.
Hopper.
I've
heard, like, I know someone that doesn't like True Romance because they said that there's like racist rants in the movie that like don't need to be in there at all, and they just think it's like Tarantino being racist.
Oh, I
like, but
do-
putting it in his movie.
I do know exactly what he's talking about. Yeah, there's a couple. I'm not gonna lie to you. There's some weird stuff that happens. there's some weird stuff in True Romance. Do you want me to give you a little spoiler on one really weird thing that happens?
I mean, is it a spoiler for
It's
the
not
movie?
a spoiler. I have no idea why it's in the movie.
Yeah, you can tell me.
Okay, so at one point, Christian Slater's character, his girlfriend, who is, I forgot her name. What's her name? She's Miss Cobell.
Oh, Arquette. Patricia
Yeah,
Arquette.
Patricia Arquette. And then his dad are together.
Oh,
And he's like, "All right, babe, tell my dad bye." And she walks up to him and just fucking starts making out with him. And says bye, gets in the car, they leave.
oh, so it's awesome.
Dude,
Why didn't you just say that?
So, and then the Christian Slater turns around, he's like, "Hey." I was like, dude, why did you just try to fuck his dad, dude? What the hell's going on?
That's weird.
And then the only other race, like, he does go on a racist rant, but he's like trying to get a rise out of someone, and then the only other thing that's really questionable is Gary Oldman's in it, and he plays a black guy, and it's pretty fucking crazy, dude. I want you to right now imagine that. It's exactly how you imagine it, dude. That part's pretty
so awesome. That's so fucking cool.
Dude, he's talking and everything, like full blown. He's in it. He's the guy.
That's insane.
And you
I'm
know
definitely
what?
watching that.
You know what? If like,
if you didn't know who Gary Oldman was,
I'd-
would you be able to tell that it was a white guy playing a black guy?
I don't think so, dude.
Really?
I don't think so. I know that's just like a really kind of light skinned black guy.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, the guy can act. That's all I can. That's fun.
I'm just a dude playing another dude.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I think they say something about it. They're like, is he even black? I don't know, but I can't remember. But it's an awesome movie, dude. The vibe of it is just really cool. It doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, weird shit happens, but I'm along for the ride, dude.
Hell yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. Is that it?
Yeah, that was it.
Okay. So going back quite a while, let's see. We talked about, okay, Ocean's 13.
Ooh. Is that the last of the trilogy?
Yeah, that's the last one.
11, 12, and 13?
I watched this about 20 days ago, and I don't remember anything.
Awesome.
I remembered Al Pacino's in it, so
Ooh.
hell yeah.
Did you hit the people with it?
Hoo-ah! Is that, wait, what are you talking about?
Great ass!
And you've got your head all the way up it.
Dude, that's so good. That's writing right there.
Give me all you got! I gave Ocean's 13 a 3. It was pretty forgettable.
Hell yeah.
I don't even remember what happened.
3 seems high for like a forgettable.
Yeah, I mean, I was probably just being nice. Because Al Pacino was in it, and
Yeah.
that just does a lot.
Well, Al Pacino's in Jack
That
and
carries
Jill.
a lot of weight. Huh?
Al Pacino's in Jack and Jill.
Why'd you have to ruin the moment?
I'm just saying, like, there's only so much the man
I
can
want
do.
you to stop saying odd shit.
Like this town feels like a dream of another town.
This town's like the faded memory of a killer.
Just stop saying that.
Like a killer's faded memory of a town.
Dude, that's so good. I'm just a regular type dude with a big ass dick.
Oh, man.
Oh, Jesus.
And then next day, I saw Close Encounters of the Third Kind in theaters.
Oh yeah, I didn't accompany you to that
Yeah.
one.
Did it by my lonesome. Not very good.
I think that was the night I watched Brawl in Cell Block 99.
Oh, okay.
I made Logan watch it.
Yeah, I had never seen it before, so I was like, oh, showing in theaters. Went and saw it. Very weird movie. I thought I would really like it because it's a 70s Spielberg alien movie. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, it sounds sick as,
It sounds
sick as hell.
like something I'd love because I love E.T.
Yeah.
Like like an intellectual. But it is not like E.T. at all.
This was not E.T.
He did not phone home. It is very far from E.T.
What's like...
Dude, it's fucking weird. It's the
is
guy
it a more
from Jaws.
a serious movie?
It's what's his name? Richard Dreyfuss.
Uh-huh.
And basically the story is like this guy is a dad with kids, and like the movie starts and it's like the typical like I don't know, all the kids are getting on each other's nerves and like the parents are stressed out and like kind of bickering and like crazy household, blah blah blah. And then Richard Dreyfuss sees like an alien ship and it basically just makes him go crazy.
Nice.
Like he sees the alien ship and it sunburns him for some reason. Half his face is sunburnt now. And he just starts like running around the house acting crazy, and like his family turns on him because he's acting crazy, and he starts like shoveling dirt into his house from the window. Like, he keeps seeing this image, like there's some image coming up in his head from the aliens that he needs to go to. And dude,
what's the image? A fucking hole in the ground?
I'm having a hard time even describing the plot. Like, it's really weird. But the characters aren't likable. It's really long for what it is. Nothing really happens. It's really slow. And the payoff at the end sucks.
Damn.
And I don't even know what the movie's trying to say. Like, I don't even know what the point is.
Aliens make you dig holes.
Like, when you watch E.T., you're like, oh, like, it's sort of symbolism for, like, how we treat animals or how we treat, like, certain groups of people.
Yeah,
and, like, treating everyone the same, and, you know,
yeah,
we're always afraid of what we don't understand or what we're not familiar with.
Yeah, and when you should be nice and give them Reese's Pieces.
Yeah, exactly, and give them a cool hat.
Yeah. Yeah.
But with Close Encounters, it's like, I don't even know what he's trying to say with this. Like, I don't even know what the point is. So I would definitely never watch it again.
Damn.
Like, there's some cool stuff visually, of course, because it's Spielberg, and like that's what he does. He knows how to move a camera around. He knows how to frame shots. He knows how to integrate CGI, but it's just not good.
Damn.
I think, I don't know if I turned in my Close Encounters. I had Close Encounters on Blu-ray because I was gonna watch it.
I think you did. I think you did ditch it.
Okay, I need to. If I didn't, I'm going to.
Yeah.
I'm not watching that again.
We'll throw this. We'll toss this rumor.
And then surprisingly, it feels like ages ago, but we haven't talked about it yet. Longlegs.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That we haven't talked about that.
That is nuts.
Now no one even cares about it anymore.
Yeah.
But my thoughts on Longlegs, I gave it a 4. I thought that the trailers and the hype sort of set the wrong expectations for the movie.
1,000%, dude.
The trailers made it out to be, like, seem very scary.
Yeah, props to the marketing team. Like,
best marketing of the year,
because
by far.
Like, afterwards we watched like some of the, like, obviously we watched, I think, the first like teaser, and then I saw a second trailer in theaters, and then like I try to avoid everything after that, and we watched some of the marketing material, and like some of the stuff they did was really cool. Like, they had the heartbeat monitor on the director's hooked up to the director from when he first saw Longlegs, and like there's all this mystique about it, and people were like, it's the scariest movie like of the century and stuff.
And marketing a movie where Nicolas Cage is playing like the villain or the monster or whatever,
Yeah.
and not showing him in the trailer and saying you have to go watch the movie to see Nicolas Cage as this character is genius.
Yeah.
That needs to be done more.
Yeah. Like, when you see the trailer, you're like, of course that's what they do.
Yeah.
But in reality,
It's sort of a detective Silence of the Lambs type movie.
it's more of a thriller than it is a horror movie.
It's not, I mean, scary is subjective, I know, and scary can mean different things. Scary doesn't have to mean, like, something that's going to keep you up at night, or, like, a jump scare that catches you off guard. Like, I know scary can mean a lot of different things, but, like, I wouldn't say I was ever really scared watching Longlegs.
Yeah, I wasn't scared. I do think it leans, because I think that the matters that they're going over, like, there are horror elements, but I think for the most part it does lean more thriller, because it is like a serial killer type situation. And if you think Silence of the Lambs or Zodiac is a horror movie, then you'll probably think this is a horror movie. But for me, those movies are more thrillers. Like, Seven, I think, is more of a thriller than it is a horror movie.
Yeah.
But I could see people watching Seven and thinking it's a horror movie.
Yeah. And I've said before, I've kind of always said Seven isn't a horror movie. And then I was listening to Cody Leach, and he said that he thinks Seven is a horror movie because its intention is to horrify you. And that's kind of a good point.
Yeah.
Like, they're showing you a bunch of fucked up shit to try to horrify you.
Yeah.
And just because there's not jump scares doesn't make it not a horror movie. So that's kind of up in the air. Like, it can go either way. But I think what's cool about Longlegs is that it's a detective procedural that also is paranormal,
Yeah.
which is something I've never seen before.
Yeah.
But sort of my problems with Longlegs was like, when I walked out, I was like, great performances. I like the way it was shot. I like the way that Oz Perkins framed shots where it's like he used wide angle lenses and you could see into the backgrounds of shots and doorways and like stuff in the background that you're always peering around the image and like watching to see if anything happens. Like there's a shot where Micah Monroe's opening a letter and she's just sitting at a desk opening a letter, but you can see the doorway behind her.
Yeah.
So you're staring at that doorway, like waiting for something to walk by. Yeah. And he does that the whole movie. It's really well directed.
He would also do stuff where like it would cut to a scene, like a wide angle again, and you would catch like a glimpse of something that like someone that had just like stepped out of frame.
Yeah.
And
like in the intro, the opening scene.
Yeah, that's specifically what I'm talking about. And it's like now you know something's there, and you know it's like there's something probably like behind that thing. Mm-hmm. And because you didn't quite see it, but you know it's there. Yeah. Like the anxiety you have is turned up to 11.
The opening scene's the best scene in the movie.
Yeah.
It is like perfect. Yep. It is. That's how you direct a movie right there and make shit creepy.
Yeah.
Let me in now.
Yeah, there is some sequences where I feel like Nick Cage goes full Nick Cage, and
I was gonna talk about that.
We could save it for later.
Why would we save it for later?
Like, if you want to talk about like the good stuff about the movie first, and then like get into that.
Oh, I mean, I didn't think we were gonna talk about it for that long, to where we'd split it up.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Just anything that comes to mind, you can say.
Yeah.
But I just thought it was a little. Like, it is cool. I gave it a 4. I enjoyed it. I think it's a cool movie that we should support, and I want more movies like it. But it's not anything crazy to me, and it feels like a lot of different movies jammed into one.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like anything like that original or that, like, crazy. And I thought that things were too heavy-handed with the foreshadowing to where I knew what was going to happen. And I'm not a person that does that. I'm not a person that sees things coming and tries to figure things out before they happen. I've never been that type of person watching movies. I watch them and I just wait. I just watch the movie. Yeah. I don't try to figure shit out. But I thought that the foreshadowing was so heavy-handed that, like, even me, somebody who doesn't try to figure things out, was like, okay, so this is going to happen. Yeah. And then it happened. And that happened with like 4 different aspects of the movie. Which I won't go into in case people haven't seen it, but that kind of sucked. That almost every like big moment in the movie I already saw coming because they hinted at it too much. And Nicolas Cage, like, for the most part, is pretty great and creepy and weird. Yeah. But there's a couple scenes that I thought I wish they would have just taken out, and I think it would have been the same movie, but better if you took them out, because Longlegs is kind of a character that, like, the less you know, the creepier. Yeah. And the less you see, the creepier. Like Jaws. Yeah. I guess Jaws isn't creepy, but scarier. Like the scene when he's in the car and he's like, "Mommy, Daddy." Yeah. I was like, that's just Nicolas Cage. Like, that's like Longlegs is a character that is like whispery. Yeah. And that's when he's at his creepiest. That's when he's at his best as Longlegs, is when he's like whispering, and talking real gently. And then when he's just freaking out and going full Nick Cage, it's like it takes me out of the movie. Yeah. And it doesn't line up with the Longlegs that we've been watching, and it also just feels like Nick Cage coming out.
I feel like that scene would have been better because, like, I think they were going for like, he is whispery and like weird, and I think they were trying to show like a rage inside of him. I feel like that scene would have been a lot better if he had just screamed. Didn't say anything, but just fucking screamed in his car. Like, that would have been a lot more.
Because screaming is like a normal thing to do
Yeah.
But screaming while yelling, like yelling out words, is what Nick Cage does. Like, no one else really does that.
Yeah.
That's what he's known for. So I agree. It would have been creepier if it was just yelling, but it would have been even creepier if you just don't have that scene in the movie. And then we see him a little less.
Yeah.
And we don't see that side of him.
Yeah. And then the let me in thing, like you did. I
liked that because that was like so like. I saw that and I was like, okay, this person is very mentally unstable. Like you have no idea what the fuck this guy's gonna say at any time. Like he could bust out a fucking song and dance and start tap dancing, and it'll like that can happen with this guy.
That can happen.
I liked that.
I don't know. It didn't work for me. It just maybe because it's Nick Cage. Maybe if it was anyone else, it wouldn't have felt.
But it was also because of what he was saying was so creepy.
Yeah.
Let me in now, and it can be nice. Or if you don't, I'll come back as many times as I like. That's fucking like singing that shit is creepy.
I almost wish he'd done like a creepy nursery rhyme thing instead of like
instead of an Elvis.
Yeah, instead of a let me in. Like if you did like a fucking Freddy Krueger thing and like sang it like a lullaby, that'd be creepy as hell.
Yeah.
But I mean, like you said, it's what everyone feels differently about certain things. So, like you could have thought something like that was creepy, and then the nursery rhyme version could have felt like stupid. So, I don't know.
Yeah, so it's just one of those movies that like I might rewatch it again one day, but I enjoyed it and I thought it was cool. But the people freaking out, giving it 5 stars, saying it's the best movie of the year, one of the best horror movies in the past decade, like I don't know what they see in it. Like it feels so familiar.
Yeah.
It feels so much like other stuff I've seen before, but like not, I don't know, there's just not really much there to like to go back and rewatch and like try to figure out.
Yeah. I think the big standout for me is them having the balls to dedicate to the paranormal side.
That's the one thing I respect the most about it.
Because like that's something like I could see another director teasing like maybe something like that's happening, but then it's like, oh no, it's all
it's
like,
this grounded thing.
Yeah,
it's this real thing. Yeah, I do really appreciate that. Not sure if there was anything else I fully wanted to say about it. Probably, I would have had a lot more to say sooner, like if we recorded this right after I saw it, but I don't remember a ton of my thoughts now that it's been so much time. But day after that, we watched Star Trek.
Hell yeah, dude.
Which was Evan's recommendation, and I liked it.
Shout out to Evan.
My first Star Trek movie, I gave it a 3.5. I love Chris Pine. Anytime I see Chris Pine, I'm in.
He's got one of those faces that you just want to give him a big old kiss.
Yeah, I just like seeing him on screen. It's fun. I'm not a huge J.J. Abrams guy.
Yeah.
His direction was kind of bothering me.
I'm kind of the same way. Like, I was watching that movie and there was a lot of stuff where I was like, eesh. Whoa.
Yeah. There's a lot. If you've never seen Star Trek, like any of the movies, and don't know the lore, like they throw a lot at you.
Yeah.
With like the types of people that like whatever Spock is. What is he?
I don't fucking. Oh,
pointy ear people.
Vulcan.
Vulcans, yeah. Like there's a lot of world building they throw at you that you probably won't be able to like fully grasp everything unless you already know about Star Trek. So for me, it was a lot to take in, but like I just thought it was fun.
Yeah, I think that's why my dad really liked it. I think it's because it's like a Star Trek movie for Star Trek fans. So it's probably why
where they don't like spoon feed you everything.
Yeah, like Star Trek was such a big IP around that time. Like most people knew what the deal was anyway.
Right. Yeah, I liked it. I didn't like the villain. I thought that was the weakest part. But I just enjoyed like the main characters being together.
Yeah,
and it's got Zoe Saldana in it, so I mean, and
boy,
you said it, pal. But I know a couple people, have a couple friends that are big defenders of the new Star Trek trilogy, and they say that Into Darkness, which is the next one, is like way better. And they said one of my complaints with this one was the fight scenes I thought were really bad. I don't like the way JJ filmed the fight scenes.
Yeah.
And I said the villain and the fight scenes were my negatives with Star Trek 2009, and they said that in Into Darkness, the villain and the fight scenes are like the best thing about it. And it's like way better.
Yeah. I can tell you now, I know who the villain is.
I know it's Ben Cum.
Well, I mean, I know who the character is.
Oh, it's Khan.
Yeah. So I don't know anything about Khan.
I don't either.
But
I just know he's the guy. He's the Star Trek Vader.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. Like, I didn't know if you knew he was Khan, but
yeah,
like when you think Star Trek villain, it's Khan.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that Into Darkness is fucking badass as shit, dude.
Yeah, we should be watching that soon.
I've seen it. I saw it whenever I was a gifted youngster. Got him. And there's one sequence I remember, like, that's super badass, but that's all I remember. I remember this one sequence, and it's someone shooting a gun, and that's it.
Hell yeah.
That's all it is.
That's all you need.
I was like, that's a badass gun.
Yep. Now, I wish we would have recorded this sooner, because I feel like we'd have a lot more to say about this if we did. But on the last episode, you guys heard me yap about Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice.
Oh my god!
And how I love it,
dude.
And
yeah.
I talked for a while, like 30 minutes, about how much I love BVS, and you argued with me about it. So, I watched it on July 6th, and I watched it again on the 13th. So 6 days later.
Yeah, dude.
7 days later, I watched it again with Carl and my other friend, because I was like, dude, Carl, you need to see this. Like, you need to see what I'm seeing, because this is amazing. And I just watched it, but I'll watch it again right now. That's what I said.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care. That's how much I enjoy watching it. Was like, and I don't, even movies I love, like, if I watch The Batman, I don't want to watch it again 6 days later.
Yeah.
That's partly just to not get burnt out on it, but partly just like, I just watched it.
Yeah.
But with BVS, I was like, dude, I could watch it again right now. So we watched it again. I watched it again, and then you watched it. And it seems like you didn't really change your mind on anything about how you felt.
No, so we watched the Ultimate Edition, which I appreciated some stuff that they gave us, but I feel like it was almost like one step forward, one step back. I feel like we solved some problems I had with the standard version, but more problems were introduced from the information that was given. And you know, I was making fun of it to fuck with you, but I was watching it with an open mind. And
did me like hyping things up help at all? Like when something would happen, I'd be like, dude, that's so fucking sick.
Specifically, something you talked about that helped a lot was the Martha sequence, because it never felt very emotionally impactful to me, and your interpretation of what it was helped out that sequence. It elevated that sequence a lot, because I never viewed it like that. It just kind of seemed weird and forced to me, and it still is a little bit like that. Like it doesn't feel like how it feels to you, but you
don't hate it as much anymore.
Yeah, I never really like hated it. I was just kind of like, why did like that seemed weird?
Yeah.
But I feel like the characters. Well, let's talk about the good stuff. Mm-hmm. The visuals, fantastic.
So fucking good.
The visuals are so I will
top tier comic book movie visuals.
Yeah, it's one of the best I've ever seen visually. But I feel like some of the characters' motivations are very muddled, and to me don't make a ton of sense based on what information was given to us.
Which character are you talking about?
I think that Batman's motivations in certain sequences are weird.
Really?
Yeah. Society?
For what? For why he's fighting Superman?
Not for why he's fighting Superman, but why he continues to fight Superman.
What do you mean?
So in the Ultimate Edition, again, it's been a while since I've seen the original, so I don't know if this is the Ultimate Edition or if this was in the original, but he's fighting Superman because Superman is powerful, and there's a chance that he could be bad. Let me raise up to fucking really show you what I mean here. So, Superman's this absolute power, and there's no deterrent against him, and if he decides one day to wake up and destroy Manhattan, he can do that. And so, Batman takes that risk and says, we cannot accept that, we got to kill him. But he also steals information from Lex Luthor, which tells him about other godlike beings that exist in the world. And he also comes into contact with one, and he's still like, nah, Superman's the fucking one that we got to kill right now. And the information that he gets about Lex Luthor doing the shady stuff, other beings being out there, and like all this stuff culminating together, and he still pursues this boss battle with Superman, it seems very weird to me that he knows Lex Luthor is stealing stuff and doing all this shady shit. I can't remember exactly what he finds out that he did, but I know it was like some bad
Well, he
shit.
orchestrated the bombing of the...
Yeah, he finds out that he bombed the Capitol building and has this grudge against Superman, killed one of Batman's employees, former employees, and also has information about other godlike beings, and he's like, you know, fuck all that noise, I'm going to kill this guy.
What you were saying did... Like, I sort of agreed with you where you were like, I get that maybe, like, he's not the biggest fan of Superman and he sees him as a threat, but, like, Lex Luthor is also a big threat and is, like, actively harming people.
Yeah.
So shouldn't he be top of the priority list instead of Superman? Maybe get to Superman second.
Yeah, or at least say, you know, like...
And I was like, that's, like, a fair complaint.
Yeah, like, he's
understand.
he's, you know, the world's greatest detective. You don't get a lot of detective stuff in BVS. That's fine. It's action. It's an action-packed movie. But I feel like Batman as a character would at least say something about this stinks. And I don't know how much of that information was in the original movie and how much was added in because of the Ultimate Edition. It feels like Batman should have been left in the dark on certain stuff to pursue that fight.
Yeah.
And then Superman... the stuff with Superman I thought was weird. I think revealing that
and
the
you
bomber...
could have easily, like, probably put something in the movie that gives Lex leverage over Batman, to where Lex says to Batman, like, hey, I know you probably want to fuck me up right now, but, like, I have this orphanage over here strapped with explosives, and if you come try to stop me, like...
Or, like,
dead.
have Lex knows that Batman is Bruce Wayne in the movie. Have the information that Batman leaks what Lex wants him to think. Like, when he plugs into Lex Luthor's mainframe, Lex Luthor knows he's there. He knows he's Batman. He knows he's going to do some shit. And he plugs in and gets, like, actual information that Lex has.
Oh, Lex could have planted fake information that he wanted Batman to take.
Yeah, that would be like, yeah, he thinks that Superman's a fucking scumbag. He's going to fight him.
Yeah.
Which is also, like, I still don't like Lex Luthor as a villain. I think that he knows things, like, he knows things just to, like, push the plot forward. Like, the wheelchair in the Capitol building being made of lead. How the fuck does he know that Superman can't see through lead? That's never been talked about. It's cool that they added that.
They didn't go over it in Man of Steel?
They never talk about that. That's, as far as I know, that's never been talked about, that Superman can't see through lead, which is just a crazy weakness to add to Superman. But I guess because it's X-ray vision and X-rays can't see through lead, that they wrote that. But that seems insane that he would know. It seems like he just knows that Superman is Clark Kent, and he just knows that Batman is Bruce Wayne.
I kind of just always chalk that up to, like, these superheroes in these movies are, like, really smart, and they just figure shit out. They just have, like, instincts and...
Yeah, but, like, that's his big exploit to Superman, is that he knows who he is. So I feel like we should have been opened up to how he found that out, at least.
Yeah.
Because that's how he fucks him, like, in the end. He, gets his mom, he gets Lois, and all that stuff. And I also still hate Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor. Like, I know you can shut your brain off and say this is just a guy, but he plays Lex Luthor, and he's fucking weird.
I mean,
him licking his fingers after putting them in a guy's mouth is fucking weird. All the little tirades that he would like goes on don't fucking matter to me. I hate anytime he's talking.
I just disagree there. Like,
dude, at one point,
I find him really entertaining.
He like tries to ramble on about stuff that like makes him sound smart. Like at one point, he says like, he says something. He goes, next category, geometry, square. No, the quickest distance between 2 points is a straight line. Make that 2 dots or something like that.
Yeah, no, I didn't like that.
I was like, dude, you're fucking weird.
Yeah.
Shut up.
No, I didn't like that one.
Like, none of his little tirades, and then, like, him saying, that should be upside down. You don't think Daddy would mind if I changed one thing about his study? Like, he bothers me a lot, dude. I couldn't do it. I tried. I cannot do Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor. A big pro that I got from the Ultimate Edition is Superman's interviews with people and wanting to pursue exposing Batman as a vigilante in the Daily Planet.
Yeah.
I really like
Harry
that.
White's like
No
crime
gives
wave
a
in
fuck.
Gotham. Fucking other news, water, wet.
Yeah, dude. I like Lawrence Fishburne as Perry White too.
That's a great cast.
He also No, I'm not going to say anything about that.
What?
I was going to talk about him killing off Jimmy Olsen in 10 minutes.
I mean, no, that's like, as a 5-star BVS fan, I moved it up to 5 stars because that's how much I enjoy it.
Yeah.
That's like the one thing I will never defend about the movie.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't want Jimmy Olsen in the movie, don't put him in the movie.
Yeah, he made him
just leave him out of the movie. It's
he made
okay.
him
You don't have to put him in just to murder him.
And then he got fucking shot in the face. And then like another thing I thought was weird was like I get what they were doing with like Superman being a controversial figure with this all-powerful being, and realistically how would people react, but like at one point they were saying that Superman could have been a co-conspirator in the bombing of the Capitol building. And they search this guy's house, and it's a bunch of like Death to Superman stuff. And I was like, yeah, he could have done it. He could have. I mean, he likes him. He's his buddy. And then like he was mailing like bounced Wayne Enterprises checks back to Bruce Wayne, and was drawing like the Capitol building on fire. And he was like, "You caused this," and like all this other stuff. And I was like, that would be a good point of like inner reflection on Batman, because like this was an ex-employee that he saved his life but is continued to struggle, and he was blind to it.
Yeah.
And he blew up the Capitol building on Lex Luthor's orders, and he was like, Superman though, he's still flying around. He broke my car, so he's got to die.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like, so it almost did the reverse, at least from what I remember on the original, where I was like, what's Superman's deal? Where now I get Superman's deal a little bit more, but Batman's deal is convoluted to me.
Right. I think that there are some things in the movie that like don't make a lot of sense, but I just think the good stuff outweighs the bad stuff. And I just really, really enjoy watching it.
Yeah.
Like, when I'm watching the movie, I don't really think about any of the stuff you think about unless you bring it up. Like, it doesn't really even cross my mind.
Oh. Like, obviously, every movie has
I've heard
shit.
someone say, this might make you like the movie even less. I don't know if it's something you've thought about, but I've heard someone complain about how Lex Luthor, like, plans the night that he's going to make Superman fight Batman, but he doesn't talk to Batman about when Batman's gonna fight Superman, and they just end up doing it on the same night.
Well, no, I
took it as like Lex Luthor knows Batman wants to fight him right now, so this is when he's doing it.
Well, stuff like that I don't like read a lot into. Like in the movie, they talk about how Lex planned for Batman to rob the kryptonite off of him. That's fucking insane. Like, that's dumb. But, like, I'll take that with a grain of salt. They say that kryptonite is highly radioactive. Everyone touches it with their bare hands and then puts their fucking fingers in their mouth. Like, it doesn't matter. Stuff like that doesn't really matter to me. It's when the core of your movie is this big conflict between two characters, I need to know why.
That's more important than the
so,
little
like,
stupid shit.
And
There's
then
probably little stupid shit in the Batman that I haven't noticed. Like,
yeah, like
you can do that with any movie.
It's got to be important to the plot itself. Like, all that shit doesn't matter. Him knowing who Superman is matters because that's how he exploits Superman. Him knowing who Batman is a little bit less important because he's just kind of like bending Batman over and making him his little bitch, like his little puppet.
Yeah.
So he doesn't really need to know who Batman is. And then, like, Batman's motivation to kill Superman after... Like, his motivation to kill Superman, I feel like, is contradicted with the information he's given. I get why he wants to kill Superman. Him saying that if there's even a 1% chance that he turns against us, we need to take that as an absolute. That's very Batman-like. Mm. But the information he's given, I feel like, should open his eyes more than what it is. It almost makes him feel kind of dumb to me.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some small things that, like, don't really line up, but I feel like you can do that with a lot of movies, and people just tend to be too hard on BVS and Snyder's movies because they're Snyder movies, and that's just what people do. Like, people really champion the Nolan Batman films, just like I do, but in Batman Begins, like, his one rule is he doesn't kill, and then A, he kills Ra's al Ghul, B, he explodes the League of Shadows temple.
Yeah.
Which kills tons of people.
Yeah.
And, like, you just move on. You're just like, it's a movie, like, shit like that happens. And the Batman, the car chase with the Penguin, people probably died during that car chase.
Yeah.
On the highway. Like, you just don't, like...
Yeah, see, like, small stuff like that, and it depends, obviously, who you are is going to depend on, like, what you take serious as a gripe with the movie. But, like, small stuff like that, I don't care about. Like, I don't care why Superman was the one to fly the spear into Doomsday when anyone else that wasn't allergic to kryptonite could have done it. He had two other people fighting with him. Like, here,
I thought about that, too.
There's you can...
Batman probably has some kind of, like, slingshot weapon that he can just, like, plug it into, like, a weapon and shoot it.
Yeah, you make...
Like a bow and arrow.
Yeah, make whatever you want. Like, and he still had that one gas...
Or Batman could have taped it on to the front of his jet and just, like, rammed it into Doomsday with his jet.
Now you're talking about badass shit, dude.
That would have been awesome, wouldn't it?
Dude. Maybe it would have been a 5. No, like you can tear stuff apart if you try, but I'd like those things that I'm talking about, I feel like directly impact the movie.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
And then obviously Doomsday, I feel like, was a horrible design. I don't know why.
His design is bad.
Yeah, I don't know why, but like Doomsday, Steppenwolf, and even Darkseid, I do not like the way they look in any of the Snyder movies.
Right.
They just look like gray logs. And like the Snyder Justice League was a little bit better because they gave Steppenwolf armor, but like I still just don't give a fuck about that guy.
Sucks.
Yeah, I don't care about him.
He's such a boring villain.
Yeah.
I kind of hate Steppenwolf, but yeah, I gave BVS a 5-star. I don't know what to tell you. Nobody stays good in this world. That's what I've got to say.
You got any Jolly Ranchers around, dude?
You have any Granny's peach tea? And then I watched the Lord of the Rings trilogy. These movies... Oh, that's pretty loud. These movies have always been 5 stars for me, but it was always on technical reasons. It was just I respected them because of the filmmaking, because of the performances and the set design and the costumes and the score, and everything was just like, they're just like perfectly made movies from a technical aspect.
Yeah. High quality.
But I never really like resonated with them on a personal level, and like never really cared too much about the characters, and nothing ever like got me emotional. It was just kind of something that I just respected more than I actually like loved. And so I wanted to rewatch them. And you know, when you want to rewatch the Lord of the Rings trilogy, you got to have some time on your hands.
Yeah, you got to plan for it.
I figured since I'd be home all week, like it would be a good time to rewatch them. And I love them now.
Hell yeah, dude.
Like so much more than I did before. I don't know why. This was my third time watching it. I don't know why it took me till the third time to like truly connect with it, but there's like multiple times that I cried.
Oh my god.
Yeah, like, and stuff that like isn't even, you know, like cry bait.
What's the dumbest thing you cried about?
Dumbest? I mean, I wouldn't say any of it's dumb.
Well, you know what I mean. Like,
there's multiple times in Fellowship.
Cry.
By the way, Fellowship's my favorite.
Ooh.
Fellowship's my favorite.
That's nuts, dude.
I'll talk about that in a second. But I know 2 times I cried during Fellowship was when Frodo's about to split up. He's about to go off on his own towards the end.
Yeah. And
Aragorn says, I would have gone with you to the end.
Oh, man.
That shit made me start crying. And then you get, like, right after he says this, all the orcs start running towards him, and you see the slow-mo shot of Aragorn walking up alone to face all the orcs by himself with a sword.
Aragorn
it's the
is
hardest
such a
fucking
badass,
shit
dude.
I've ever seen in my life.
Any moment like that is automatically going to make my penis hard. Like, in Game of Thrones,
Jon Snow
fucking draws a sword in front of, like, put one guy in front of an army.
Yeah.
I'm coming.
Yeah.
I'm coming left and right, dude.
Yeah, that happened. But then at the end, like, I don't know what it was about this rewatch, but, like, I really connected with the Sam and Frodo stuff. Like, that story just is so incredible.
Is it because we're in love as well?
That's part of it, I'm sure. But at the end, Frodo's trying to leave. Like, he thinks he's going to get people hurt, so he wants to leave on his own. So he starts, he gets in a boat and, like, starts leaving. And Sam sees him, and he's like, "No, Mr. Frodo!" And Frodo's like, "I'm leaving, Sam. Like, I have to go alone." He's like, I'm going alone." And he goes, "Of course you are. And I'm going with you." And I started crying. I started crying from that. Like, it's the delivery of it and just how loyal Sam is to Frodo. And then he gets in the boat, like, Frodo pulls him into the boat, and he said, "I made a promise to Gandalf." And he said, "Don't leave Frodo, and I don't mean to." And I was like, "Oh, God fucking bless, dude." Like,
we all need a Sam in our life, dude.
yeah, Sam's the fucking guy.
We all need a gay companion.
Potatoes.
Boil, mash, and put them in a stew.
Share the load.
See, dude, I like. Maybe I need to rewatch them because I remember. I remember not really liking Frodo, and not really getting connected to the hobbits. But I remember, like, Legolas and Gimli, their whole riff that they do.
So good.
I fucking love it. Aragorn's a badass, of course. Gandalf, you know, he's doing Gandalf. He's flying on big birds. But, like, I don't know, like, Frodo in the movies when he starts to, like, kind of turn. I remember thinking that Sam kind of did most of the heavy lifting.
Well, that's the thing about the movie is, like, the ring is taking a toll on Frodo.
Yeah.
Which is what's making it so sad, is seeing, like, their relationship is getting kind of torn apart because the ring is basically, like, turning Frodo against Sam. Yeah. On top of the fact that Smeagol is turning him against Sam.
Oh, dude, I remember when Smeagol framed Sam to make it look like he ate all their bread.
Yeah.
He's like, "I'll get you, you fucking turd. I forgot what he calls him, but he's like starts choking out Smeagol. I was like, Sam, god damn.
Yeah. So it is a little like it's easy to find Frodo a little unlikable in the later movies because he's half dead and he's basically a zombie and he's turning against Sam. But it's like that's the tragedy of the story.
Yeah,
like that's the point, and that's what makes it so beautiful. Is like through all that, like Sam is staying by his side with everything that Frodo's going through.
Yeah,
and like when they, I guess spoilers for Lord of the Rings.
Jesus Christ, dude.
But when they're like at the end in Return of the King and they're on Mount Doom and like Frodo's basically dead, like he's dying, like he can't go up anymore, and he was like, "We gotta go, Mr. Frodo." He was like, I can't carry it for you, but I can carry you." And then puts him on his back.
They CGI run into the.
Don't worry about the CGI. The CGI. Fuck you for bringing that up. But he puts Frodo on his back and starts hiking up the mountain. Like, that's just some of the best shit I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, dude.
And I've never really loved. I can't think of Gollum. I could only think of Smeagol, but Gollum. He's a great character. Like, he definitely should be in the movie, and he makes sense in the story, and I get why he's there, and he, you know, like, I'm not saying he's a bad character, but he's always just kind of got on my nerves, and he's one of my least favorite aspects of,
I actually don't feel that way.
When I watch Lord of the Rings, like, the scenes I get the most excited about are not Gollum. Like, it's Sam, Frodo, Aragorn, Gandalf. And, like, the whole crew.
I think my least favorite are Merry and Pippin. They do nothing but fuck shit up, dude. And then they rode...
They get better.
They did ride the tree, which was pretty cool.
The Treebeard stuff is my least favorite of the trilogy.
Yeah.
People kind of shit on me for that, but, like... I don't like when characters in movies talk slow. And you have to sit there and wait for them to finish their sentence when, like, it just, I don't know, it's just kind of annoying to me.
Yeah. Get the shit out of your mouth, you know.
Yeah, I don't love the Treebeard stuff. It doesn't detract from the movie, but it's like if I was gonna check my phone during Lord of the Rings, it'd be during Treebeard stuff.
What about second breakfast? Fuck those guys, dude.
Yeah. No, I liked Merry and Pippin more too now. They're like, they have good arcs. But Fellowship is my favorite because it's the one movie where the whole squad's together.
Well, let me ask you this before you get into that. What was your favorite beforehand? Return of the King?
I could never really say for sure, but I'd say probably it was Return of the King.
Yeah.
And I think Fellowship and Return of the King are very close.
Yeah.
In quality. They're like, it's kind of a toss up. And then Two Towers is easily third.
Okay.
Not bad. It's still 5 stars.
Yeah.
But
in
like,
that trio,
I'm very surprised when anyone says that the Two Towers is their favorite. Like, that's very surprising to me.
Mm.
That's sort of like saying Rise is your favorite, like, Apes movie. Yeah. Like, it's just surprise. Like, it's still a good movie, but it's surprising to me.
Yeah,
considering the other
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, Fellowship. It's the one movie where the whole squad is together, like, basically the whole time.
Yeah.
Frodo leaves at the end, but
you get the beginning.
Like,
they're shooting off fireworks at the Shire.
Yeah, Bilbo's birthday.
Time. Yeah,
and then like they meet Strider. His name's Strider at first. And, like, he's the coolest fucking guy in the world. And then they go to Rivendell and, like, form the Fellowship. And it's just Gimli, Aragorn, Gandalf, Legolas, Sam, Frodo, the Pippins.
Yeah.
Like, it's all of them together. And that's the only time it happens. Like, like, at the end of Fellowship, Sam and Frodo go off by themselves.
Yeah.
Merry and Pippin get fucking...
Tree-bearded.
Yeah, they get swept off into something else.
Yeah.
And then the other movies are basically... Like, Two Towers is Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli looking for Merry and Pippin.
Yeah.
So after that, they're all kind of go their own ways. But Fellowship is like them all together, and the world building is so good, and it's so like it's just kind of a comfort movie.
Yeah.
Now, like just turning it on, hearing Howard Shore's score, and just being in the Shire, watching him dance around, and like it's just so nice.
Dude, the aesthetic of the I forgot what they call them, but like the wraiths that they send after them.
The ring wraiths.
Dude,
it's so fucking cool.
Those guys are so badass, dude.
Yeah.
So fucking cool. Like they're like black ghost knights.
Yeah.
Just sick stuff. Yeah, I definitely think it. I think for me it's Return of the King, just because you get so much of that payoff. Mm-hmm. But it's been a while since I've seen Fellowship. I could definitely see it being either one, not Two Towers though.
Yeah, Two Towers. I like the stuff they do with. What's the king's name?
The sacrifice, the guy that was gonna like burn his son.
The guy that was dying, and Gandalf brought him back to life.
I don't remember.
Ah, dude, I just knew it. Anyways, like all the stuff with Rohan, pretty much like it's all pretty great. And the Battle of Helm's Deep at the end is good.
Oh yeah.
But like when I think of Two Towers, like I'm pretty much just waiting for Helm's Deep.
Yeah.
And in the other two movies, I'm not waiting for anything. I'm enjoying all of it.
Yeah.
So, I think Two Towers is easily the weakest. And then Return of the King just has like that's the peak of what movies can be.
Yeah.
Like,
dude, when you
make a fantasy or a sci-fi movie, your goal should be to make something as good as Return of the King.
Dude, when you showed me that fucking Aragorn edit,
yeah,
and they were like, only the true king can fucking summon us, and he holds up the sword, I was like, you fucking son of a bitch.
Didn't even say a word.
Yeah,
just held up the sword next to his
I don't know
face.
if you saw who the fuck I was, dude, but I am the king.
Yeah. Yeah, and I loved the small, like... Oh, I forgot the other thing I cried about in Fellowship. Boromir. When Boromir dies.
Oh, yeah.
And...
That's Sean Bean's character?
Yeah, Sean Bean, yeah. And he said, my brother...
I remember him on that hill. I fucking can't remember what he said.
Let me check my phone. I think I put it in my review.
That'd be pretty badass if you did.
I would have followed you, my brother, my captain, my king.
Not my captain, dude.
My king.
He's the guy, dude.
It's just like I just started to notice all of the little small lines that like because the movies were made like with the complete story already done, like they knew what seeds to lay in the first movie that pay off in the third.
Yeah.
So there's so many little things that I just didn't fully like pick up on really the first time I watched it. Second time I watched it even, like Aragorn, like I didn't really understand his character. Like I didn't know what was so significant about him becoming king in Return of the King until this watch with basically like he's the heir to the throne, but he's been in exile, like self-exile, because his lineage, like his genetics, all of the men before him have turned evil. Yeah. And he doesn't want that to happen to him, and he doesn't want to turn evil. So he's basically like being an outcast and just being like a drifter.
Yeah. And doing cool shit.
Yeah, so it's him like on the journey, and then all the people, telling him like, dude, you don't have to worry about that. Like you're not them. You'd make a great king.
I remember the moment, I think I popped in while you were watching it, but when he announces like the fellowship. Yeah. I was like, oh my god, dude.
I think I might have teared up during the fellowship scene too. Like
really?
When they formed the fellowship.
You know what I do remember that I wasn't crazy about in the because I don't remember the Treebeard stuff lasting long, but maybe my memory's foggy. But I remember the elf stuff with the romance between I don't remember her name, that elf and Aragorn.
I don't remember her name either, but it's Liv Tyler.
Yeah. I remember thinking like, let's get on.
That's like one thing I don't like necessarily need in the movie.
Yeah.
It doesn't make it bad. It's still fine, but it's not like I don't know. I mean, I feel like you can make the movie without that.
Yeah.
And
that's
just
the one
good.
thing, like, I think they were doing something weird where like she was dying or something, or like becoming mortal.
Yeah.
Or something weird was going on, and I was like, it's fucking. Can I see Aragorn stab somebody?
What's weird
please?
is like, Aragorn keeps talking about this story of like this woman that fell in love with a mortal and gave her love to a mortal and then died. But the girl he likes is an elf, and they live for thousands of years. They live a shit ton of time.
Yeah.
And he is a human, but he's a human of the Dunedain, which are people who are blessed with long life.
Yeah.
So both of them live a long time.
Yeah.
So what's the issue here? Maybe I'm missing something.
I thought they did do something where she was becoming like human or something, or becoming mortal.
Maybe they did, and I wasn't paying attention.
I remember them doing something weird about it.
If you guys know more than we do, then comment and let us know.
Yeah.
But yeah, at the end of Return of the King, when Aragorn says, "You, my friends, bow to no one."
Oh my god,
Dude, that shit made me cry too.
That was fire, dude.
Yeah.
I get that 100%.
And for Frodo, running at the army,
Oh god, yeah.
that's just fucking. Oh god. There's too many moments for me to even like.
Yeah. Dude, that gross guy, I don't remember his name. The guy that kept on saying that his like son was dead, but he was like clearly alive, and he was trying to like set him on fire.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
someone punched this guy in the fucking face, dude.
Yeah, and he hated his other son. Like, he was the father of Boromir, and what's the other one's name? It's like it's Oromir. It's something like
It's like Boromir and Toromir or something.
Yeah.
He was really creative with the
Faramir.
names. Faramir, yeah.
And he loved Boromir, but not Faramir.
Yeah,
Now he just hates Faramir.
He kept trying to get Faramir killed the whole fucking movie.
Yeah.
And then he finally gets like hit in the head. And he's like, well, he's dead.
They burn him at the stake.
He starts trying to catch him on fire. And dude, my cock shot right up when I saw him catch on fire and die. I was like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we
Runs
needed.
off the building for no reason while he's on fire.
Like a dumbass, dude. He was like, dude, the second I saw him, he was crunching those tomatoes and just being so nasty.
Yeah.
I was like, I hate this guy.
I hate this guy. I don't care what his arc is. I don't care if he's the best guy in the world after this.
Yeah.
You ate gross next to a mic, and I had to hear it and look at it, and fuck you.
He's like, yeah.
Yeah, eating his fucking pork roast.
You're not as good as Boromir, Toromir.
But yeah, so I watched the whole trilogy, and then I finished it, and I was like, man, nothing sounds good right now except for Lord of the Rings. So I rewatched Fellowship again.
Damn, dude.
Yeah. I thought about doing the other two again, but
That's crazy.
I was kind of tapped. After Fellowship again, I was like, I'm good.
Yeah, you got what you needed.
Yeah. But yeah,
Wait, didn't you attempt The Hobbit?
I did attempt that.
Dude, you were really itching.
I was just tired. What actually happened was like, I put on the first Hobbit. I watched 30 minutes of it, and I didn't hate it or anything. I thought it was like decent, and I was just falling asleep, so I turned it off because I haven't seen it, so I don't want to fall asleep.
Do
during
people
something I
like?
haven't seen.
Do people like any of those movies? Because I feel like I've heard people talk about the desolation of Smog.
People like the first two, and they don't like the third one.
Is Smog the second one?
I think Smog is the second one. I
Yeah.
think it's Unexpected Journey, Smog, and then Five Armies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I watched the Hobbit movies one day.
Yeah.
I'll check them out. But yeah, Lord of the Rings is like skyrocketing up my favorite movies of all time.
It's so
list.
good, dude.
Like, they're in such a different stratosphere as like Harry Potter, Star Wars, like all that other stuff.
Yeah. And what's crazy is that I feel like, obviously Harry Potter is what it is. It's better than Harry Potter. But I feel like Star Wars, I've said it like 1,000 times, the potential of what Star Wars can be is so high. Like, their ceiling is so high. Mm-hmm. And it's just owned by Disney, and Disney has no idea what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah. It's like DC Comics.
Yeah.
Like, DC has better comics than Marvel, but they just don't really use them. They just don't do good adaptations.
Yeah.
So, you know. Like, imagine if DC, like, the live-action DC universe built up over, like, 10 years to a Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Dude, that'd be crazy.
It would be like Endgame.
Yeah.
And, like, people would care, but they just have never done that.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, Lord of the Rings. And then after I finished that, I watched Deadpool.
Hell yeah.
I think it was just because Deadpool and Wolverine was coming out, and I was like, I haven't seen these in a while. Let's, dive back in. And I gave Deadpool a 3.5. Still good.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like the Deadpool movies are something that, like, a lot of people have differing opinions on in terms of, like, the rankings.
I feel like my opinion on Deadpool is very different. And, like, I've kind of drawn my conclusion on Deadpool, like, based on very specific things. But
what's your conclusion?
I think Deadpool 2 is the best out of the bunch.
Me too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I feel like no one ever talks about Deadpool 2, but
I think Deadpool 2 is great.
I think it's fantastic.
I think it's the comedy in Deadpool 1, like, to be honest, all of the Deadpool humor doesn't age very well. Sometimes it's, like, not very good.
Yeah.
But I think the humor in 2 is better, and I just think it's way more fun. All the stuff going on with Cable and X-Force and Fire Fist is so much more interesting to me than the stuff that's happening. Deadpool is just a revenge movie.
Yeah.
Just this one guy did me wrong, and I'm gonna try to find the one guy.
And there's like
it is really well made, and they do tell it non-linear and, like, cutting back and forth and between time, and, like, it's a really cool way to do an origin story. It's a really solid movie, and the action's great too.
Yeah.
But there's just more in Deadpool 2. There's just more entertaining things happening.
Yeah, and I feel like Deadpool 2 is, you kind of see an arc in a lot of the characters. Mm-hmm. Like Deadpool 1, a lot of Deadpool 1 from what I remember is, like, comedy. Like him at the start, him and Vanessa, like, having a bunch of sex and all this other stuff. Like,
he hasn't really grown at all from the beginning to the end of Deadpool.
But in Deadpool 2, like, Cable's coming through. I love Cable as a character. Mm-hmm. And you also get the actual, like, true rendition of Juggernaut, who I also love. Mm-hmm. I was coming in my pants during the Juggernaut Colossus fight. That's one of my favorite things ever. Mm-hmm. But like,
and you get Vanessa telling him his heart's not in the right place.
Yeah.
So he's trying to become a better person.
Yeah, Deadpool's movie. Like taking something serious for once, and like saving someone.
Yeah.
Like Deadpool 1's a revenge story. He does save people in 3, but, like, Deadpool 2, he's actually trying to save someone and, like, make a difference in their life.
And in Deadpool 2, he sacrifices himself.
Yeah.
Like, Cable ends up going back and using his last token, like his last time travel token, to bring Deadpool back to life, but he didn't know he was going to do that. Like, he sacrificed himself for Fire Fist. Like, I was listening to a podcast today, and someone said Deadpool 2 is one of the worst comic book movies they've ever seen.
Just negative.
Like, what? I'm dumbfounded by... I'm not even, like, some crazy defender of Deadpool 2, but, like, what could possibly be so bad about it? Yeah. Like, I don't understand.
An actual,
like, I get maybe the comedy doesn't land. Maybe it's just not your comedy style at all. You don't think a single thing in the movie is funny.
I see that for sure.
But even if that's the case, like, just for the action alone, how is it not like a 2.5?
I mean, just
like, the action's great.
A comic accurate Colossus and Juggernaut. That's enough for me.
Yeah. People think like when you think of Deadpool, the first thing you think of is comedy, but the action sequences in the Deadpool movies are amazing.
They are.
Like
They're
some
so
of the
good.
best action you'll see in a comic book movie.
Dude, I remember when like the test footage dropped of the highway overpass like fight scene
Yeah.
for the first Deadpool. I was like, dude, this is gonna be crazy.
Yeah. Leaked.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, definitely leaked.
Yeah. Leaked test footage, secret core,
Yeah.
all that stuff. See, I get on the internet sometimes.
But yeah, I watched Deadpool and Deadpool 2, and I still hold true with my opinion. I think Deadpool 2 is better. I like the whole X-Force thing that he's doing. I like the dynamic with like Colossus wanting him to join the X-Men and him kind of being lost after Vanessa dying. And Fire Fist, like I just think, and them going to prison, and like
The prison wallet.
yeah, the prison.
Yeah.
I can hear you rummaging around in there.
Yeah, dude. Is your order 231?
Yes,
That's
as
my-
of now.
That's my order.
If I rewatch 3, I could see a rewatch not going too swell for 3.
I could too.
I'm worried about that.
And the only thing that's like that I was latching on to when I did 231 as my order is Wolverine. Like getting to see Wolverine in his costume and like just more Wolverine.
Yeah,
I love it.
yeah, we'll get to Deadpool and Wolverine. And we'll talk more about it, but yeah, I just really enjoy Deadpool 2 a lot. I've seen that movie a lot of times.
Yeah.
Like when I was first getting into movies, it was one of my like favorite movies to rewatch.
It came out around the same time as like Infinity War, right?
Yeah.
I remember watching Deadpool 2 and being like, I mean, they're pretty close.
Yeah.
Like I really like Deadpool 2.
Yeah. I think they're like a half star apart.
Yeah.
They're really close, yeah. And then so I don't know what it was for me, but there was this section of me being sick where the only types of movies I wanted to watch were movies about movies where an A-list celebrity plays a normal working class person. This
What
is
the
like
hell's going on, dude?
this is a genre that in general I just love. Like
What the hell?
I love when like top tier actors play normal people. I don't know what it is, because so many movies are they're about spies and superheroes and like
What do you mean something like
Jason Bourne and all this like. I love all that shit, but it's so like disconnected from reality. But if like I think what sparked it was when I saw Mark Wahlberg in Deepwater Horizon playing like
yeah. You mean like the
technician.
wrestler? The wrestler kind of.
Well, not exactly, because the wrestler's pretty like that's not a normal job.
I mean, he works at a grocery store.
Yeah, I know he's struggling, but like he was a big wrestler.
Yeah.
I'm talking more about like, I don't know what a good example is, but I have something on my list that's a good example.
Okay.
But I was in the mood for like movies that I would watch when I was growing up, like late '90s, early 2000s movies.
Yeah.
And so the first one I watched was Armageddon
Hell yeah.
because I had never seen it, and it's a 90s movie, and I saw that Bruce Willis played a oil driller, so it fit the criteria.
Hell yeah.
I was like, that just scratches an itch in my brain. Like
Yeah.
seeing Bruce Willis play an oil driller is awesome to me. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
And I'm not a big Michael Bay guy. Previous to watching Armageddon, my highest rated Michael Bay film is a 3.
Dang.
Which is criminal to most people, but I don't know what to tell
is
you.
what
I
it
just
is.
don't really like his movies that much.
Yeah.
People defend the shit out of Ambulance, so I might need to rewatch it with an open mind.
No.
I don't know. People love Ambulance.
That's crazy, dude.
But
Oh, I actually had one more on my watch list that I forgot to talk about. Just remind me.
You can go ahead.
Oh no, I'll get into it. I don't want to stop your thought.
But yeah, I watched Armageddon, and I actually really liked it.
Really?
Maybe I was just in the right mood.
A little Aerosmith going on. Dude.
Yeah, maybe I was just in the right mood, but like it was
I'll be there no, that's not it.
I don't want to miss a
Yeah,
thing.
that's what I was doing. Bon Jovi like a dumbass.
Dude.
Dude.
Like a fucking idiot.
God almighty. It just keeps going.
Yeah, but there's just something so like fun about Armageddon. Like the movie's so stupid. Like it's so fucking stupid. Like I wish this is what Michael Bay did all the time. Like big dumb stupid movies. I mean, instead of like stuff that take like some of the stuff he makes is just boring. Like his Bad Boys movies to me are just boring.
Yeah, they're not, like
his Transformers movies. Dude, his Transformers movies are 90% military people saying military shit. I swear to God. Ajax 9er, fucking all that bullshit for 2 fucking hours. I swear. There is so much bullshit in those movies that are so boring.
I wonder how many Alpha Bravos are said throughout the course of all of Michael Bay's movies, dude. It's probably the highest number that anyone's ever had.
Basically, like, the dumber the concept, the more I'm going to like it.
Yeah.
And Armageddon, like, you've seen Armageddon, right?
I have, but I, like...
Do you remember the plot?
When you said that Bruce Willis was an oil driller, I was like, I thought he was a spaceman.
So the concept of Armageddon is that there's a huge asteroid headed towards Earth.
I remember that.
And they don't have anything... it's too big to like shoot at and destroy and like stop it from coming to Earth. They said it's the size of Texas.
Don't tell me they just drill it.
And it'll be total obliteration of Earth. Everything, even bacteria, will die on Earth if this asteroid hits. And so the only thing they can do that will explode the asteroid is set up base on the asteroid and drill into it and plant a bomb inside of it.
Hell yeah.
And the guy explained it like, you know what happens if you put a firecracker in your hand with your palm open like this and it goes off? He was like, it'll just explode. Nothing will really happen. But if you close a firecracker in a closed fist, your hand will be fucked up. He doesn't say it like that, but that's what he's saying.
I said, dude.
And he was like, so we have to get the nuke inside of the asteroid for it to explode and work.
Did you just blow him from Stupid Town? What the fuck are you talking about?
It's the stupidest fucking shit. So they train all these oil drillers to go into space and drill into the asteroid to put a nuke inside of it.
Jesus Christ. See, all I remember is...
Does that not sound awesome to you?
That sounds like the coolest thing ever, dude. All I remember is there's an asteroid and they got to blow it up.
Yeah.
And Bruce Willis is one of the guys.
Yeah.
That's
all
I
like,
remember.
it's pretty, like, well made, and, like, they have some really cool sets, and, like, I don't know, there's just... It's so much fun. That's just what I'll chalk it up to. Like, Ben Affleck's in it.
Yep.
It's actually a really good cast. Let me pull up the cast. I was pretty mind blown.
Is that your favorite Bay now?
Oh yeah, that's a 4 for me.
Ooh.
So a whole star higher than my other highest. Bruce Willis, Billy Bob Thornton,
Jesus,
Ben Affleck, Liv Tyler, Steve Buscemi, William Fichtner, Owen Wilson, Michael Clark Duncan, Peter Stormare, and Keith David.
Good grief, dude.
It's a crazy cast.
That's wild as shit.
Yeah. So I definitely loved that. And then once I finished that, I wanted another stupid Michael Bay 90s movie, so I watched The Rock.
Hell yeah.
Winners go home and fuck the prom queen.
I was trying to do
Going back to The Rock.
impression, but I couldn't think of anything to say. You're Nick Cage, right?
I'm Sean Connery.
Sean Connery here. We have to go to The Rock.
We have to go to The Rock.
I've never seen The Rock, dude. What the fuck is that about?
You haven't seen The Rock?
I've never seen The Rock.
The Rock is a movie where Okay.
It's a rare Nick Cage movie I haven't seen.
So, Sean Connery is he's the only man in the world who's ever escaped from Alcatraz.
Okay.
That's his character.
I love it so
30,
far.
30 years prior, he escaped from Alcatraz, and now he's in prison for escaping from Alcatraz.
Oh, yeah.
And there's this guy that played by Ed Harris, and he's a military guy. He's an army guy, and he a lot of his comrades got killed, and his comrades' families were not like compensated or helped out like money wise.
Okay.
And like he thought they should have done more for the families of these people that died in combat.
Gotcha.
So he goes to Alcatraz and sets up base with a bunch of gas bombs. And he sends a threat to the White House and says, if you don't send out $100 million to all these families, I'm going to shoot these gas bombs at San Francisco.
Okay.
You have 72 hours. And then the government's like, well, we're not doing that. So they get Sean Connery. They get him out of his prison. And they say, you're the only guy that knows Alcatraz better than anyone else. So we're sending you into Alcatraz to kill these people that are sending these threats. And Nick Cage is a chemical analyst, basically. Like, I forget exactly what
he knows about like the gas.
He knows about
stuff.
bombs and gases and shit. So he's there to like defuse the bombs.
Okay.
That's it.
That's
It's Nick Cage and Sean Connery like teaming up to like stop Ed Harris and this threat.
Sounds awesome.
It's pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah, it sounds super sick.
Yeah, it's really cool. And I gave it a 3.5. Not like as fun as Armageddon, but like still pretty fun.
Yeah, like what you were looking for.
Yeah, and my review was why does Michael Bay make movies like Transformers: The Last Night when he can make movies like The Rock?
Damn, dude.
Because I tell you, man,
Last Night is bad.
One of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. I mean, that's just some horse shit.
If I had to sum it up in 2 words, it would be. You want to take a guess?
No.
Poopy pants.
If I ever met Michael Bay, I would stick my hand out and say, I, my good man, am waiting for my 2 hours back. Thank you, sir.
I would say, what is love?
What is love?
That's what I would say. See if I can get him to strike a pose.
And then next up, this is the movie I was kind of talking the most about when I said movies where A-list celebrities play normal guys.
Yeah.
I watched The Perfect Storm.
Hell yeah.
Do you know what The Perfect Storm is?
No.
The Perfect Storm is a movie where George Clooney plays a fisherman.
That's awesome.
A little more happens than that, but that's what hooked me. I saw George Clooney in a fisherman hat, and I was like, "Yep."
No, he wears an
Play.
he has an actual fisherman's hat on.
He's dressed like he's. I'll show you
He
the
should
picture.
be dressed like Paddington.
He's not dressed. He's not wearing like a fisherman hat, but like he looks like a fisherman.
Yeah, I mean, he does look like a fisherman, but you led me to believe something else.
I mean, sorry, I don't know.
Let me show you what I had in mind.
What the yellow raincoat, the Paddington.
I mean, kind of, but like, let me show you the hat that I'm thinking of. God, I can't find any good examples, but I was thinking of like the full brim hat with like the little fishing hooks hanging off of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
So,
Oh, Jesus Christ.
yeah, I just wanted a movie where what actually happened was I was about to watch The Guardian. You know The Guardian, right?
That's Ashton Kutcher?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Guardian is a 2006 movie where Kevin Costner plays a Coast Guard
Yeah.
like captain and is teaching Ashton Kutcher how to be a Coast Guard person.
Yeah.
I grew up with that movie for some reason. It was on TV all the time.
Logan put me on that, dude.
Yeah. I don't know why that just has like a certain, it just scratches a part of my brain that's like childhood.
Yeah.
And I was gonna watch The Guardian, and then it wasn't on anything. So The Perfect Storm felt like kind of close to The Guardian.
Yeah.
And the Perfect Storm's another movie with a crazy cast, but pretty much the concept is George Clooney's a fisherman, and he's out with his crew catching fish and gets stuck in the perfect storm.
Oh, okay.
And
What's so perfect about the storm?
it's like it's a notorious storm in history in terms of like it's basically like a hurricane like aligned with something, and it's just like one of the worst storms that's ever happened.
Jesus, it actually happened.
Yeah, so I found out once the movie ended that it was based on a true story.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Holy
That's
shit,
crazy.
dude.
Like
That's wild.
I was watching this thinking like this is so dumb. Like this none of this would
No
ever
way.
happen. And then I found out it was based on a true story. It's a biopic. But yeah, it's George Clooney. I'll read off the cast real quick. George Clooney, Mark Wahlberg,
Of course.
young Mark Wahlberg, the cool one.
Marky Mark.
Diane Lane, John C. Reilly, William
Gotta have him.
Fichtner. Again, he's all over the place.
Yeah,
Can't
he's
get rid of
everywhere,
him.
dude.
I'm not going to pronounce her name because it's going to be wrong, but the lady from The Abyss that plays Ed Harris's wife.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Um,
Can you try to pronounce her name?
Mary Elizabeth Mastrantonio.
That's probably right.
Yeah. But the main ones are George Clooney, Mark Wahlberg, John C. Reilly, William Fichtner.
Yeah.
But it's just like so I really liked it.
Once you at the end when you realized it was a true story, did that enhance it? Were you like, holy fuck?
I don't know. I don't know if it did anything for me because the movie I thought really subverted my expectations.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think seeing it was a true story was like, oh, well, that's why it subverted my expectations.
Oh,
Because
gotcha.
it's a true story.
Yeah.
But I actually just thought it was like really fucking good.
Hell yeah, dude.
The chemistry with the cast, like they feel like a crew of fishermen like stuck on a boat together. And the storm, when the storm happens, like it came out in 2000 and it looks really good. Like the CGI and everything really holds up, and it's pretty like intense, and I really highly recommend it.
Damn.
Yeah.
What'd you give it?
I gave it a 3.5, but I think I'm gonna move it up. I'm gonna move it up to a 4.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. I think you should watch it.
I'm gonna have to. I'm
Do
gonna
you
add it to
like
my list.
movies like survival movies like that?
Like, come on, dude. Get real. Yeah.
That's your shit?
I mean, it's not my shit, but I like those.
Okay.
Like,
Like 127 hours?
127 Hours, Captain Phillips, I fucking love, dude. Lone Survivor, Deepwater Horizon.
The Gray.
Don't worry about that one. Society of the Snow. Shit like that.
Yeah. Yeah, The Perfect Storm's awesome. I'd like for you to check that out and tell me what you think.
All right. I will report back to you.
Logan might actually like it too.
Dude, if it's a storm, she'll probably like it.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, she probably would. And then that same day we watched Twisters.
Yep. You followed up Perfect Storm with Twisters.
I know. I love my weather. What can I say?
Yeah, dude. You're nuts.
Twisters was cool. I gave it a 3.5.
Glenn Powell,
God,
the coolest. Dude, when he first rolls up and
if you feel it,
chase it.
I said if you feel it,
Chase it.
oh yeah.
Dude, when he rolls up and fucking No Love in Oklahoma
Yeah.
is playing in his truck, I was like, oh my god, dude. This is so cool.
Yeah. I'm not a big country music guy, but that fit so well in Twisters.
Yeah.
Like when I think of Twisters now, I think of Ain't No Love in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Like that's what plays in my head. I thought Twisters was pretty damn good. I liked Glenn Powell a lot. I liked Brendan Perea a lot. And I wasn't the hugest fan of Daisy Edgar Jones.
What Why do you say that?
She kind of felt miscast. She didn't really have the best chemistry with Glenn Powell, and I don't know. Like,
I will say it did seem like Glenn Powell was doing a lot of the heavy lifting. Like his character is chasing her character almost.
yeah, she's kind of a boring character. I know she's kind of like trauma ridden, and that's kind of the point. But she's sort of a boring character, and I just thought that like Daisy. I mean, that's not true. Like, you know, you can have like trauma-ridden characters and them not be boring, like Midsummer.
Yeah, that's
Like,
true.
look at Florence Pugh in Midsummer. That performance is incredible.
Dude. Don't get me started.
Yeah,
Don't get me going.
In Twisters, it was just like I'm pretty sure she's an Irish actress, either Irish or British, and I just don't think her country accent was very good, and it was kind of coming and going.
Yeah,
And
she kept on like he called her city girl, but she was from Oklahoma, and I was like, she's not from Oklahoma, dude.
Yeah, it never felt like she was from Oklahoma.
Yeah,
And when they played that song about like her going back home, and then she was like walking around her house before Mom wakes up, I was like, she feels like a fraud. Like, this doesn't feel like someone actually going home.
Yeah. Thank God they played Lainey Wilson's voice though, because that brought that up.
Yeah,
I love me some Lainey.
Yeah, didn't love Daisy Edgar Jones in it. I'm sure she's a good actress, but just I don't know if she was cast correctly. Just get a Southern person.
Yeah,
like Glenn Powell's from Texas. He makes a ton of sense.
Dude.
Like, he fits perfectly as that character.
Yeah.
But even people who aren't like country, Brandon Perea is not country at all. Like, he talks like a normal guy, but he just did a good accent.
Yeah.
And he was just so much fun.
Dude, I love him.
Yeah.
He's great.
He's like a scene stealer.
Yeah.
And everything he's in.
I can't remember who I was talking to, but like there's scenes with him and Glenn fucking Powell.
Yeah.
And they're at it.
On the same level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
got twins!
Yeah, dude, it's crazy.
Yeah, Brandon Perea is awesome. I don't know how I felt about Anthony Ramos Jr. I'm kind of mixed on him. I liked him in Transformers, but there was something kind of like, I don't know if it was just because he was playing sort of an unlikable character. I'm not sure if it was a bad performance. It was just like,
I don't think it was his performance. I think it was the character. Because like, you know, he's always dressed up in his what's his company called? Weatherpar? Stormpar?
Stormpar.
Yeah, he's always dressed up in his Stormpar stuff, and he's really banking on that girl for like all of her stuff. And he does, like, aside from that, he doesn't really do a ton. Mm-hmm. I feel like a lot of it is his character.
Yeah.
Because anytime there is emotion, when they're like, he's like, I don't know what that feels like. Mm-hmm. Like, I feel like he shows up, but for the most part, his character's just kind of boring.
Yeah, I think it was more the writing than his performance. But I thought the storms were good. I like the soundtrack. The third act's like pretty damn fun, and it's a big spectacle. It's just a fun, like, leave your brain at home blockbuster. And I thought it did a good job, like, not being too much of a sequel to Twister, where it was like the lead is the old lead's daughter or son.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't do anything like that. You don't have to watch Twister to watch Twisters.
Yeah.
And there's just some like references and stuff if like that you'll notice if you're a big fan of Twister. But that's a good way to do a sequel.
Yeah.
Like, just kind of homage a little bit, make some references, but like, you don't have to watch it. It's a new thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, Glenn Powell's the star of the show.
Oh God, dude.
He's the man.
Put Glenn Powell in a cowboy hat walking through the rain.
Yeah.
And I'm there.
There's a rumor that he's doing a remake of Backdraft.
Oh my God, dude.
That'd be so awesome.
We gotta stop
think
talking
Glenn
about...
Powell is just doing remakes or sequels to movies he grew up with.
Yeah.
Because he's in Twisters, he's doing The Running Man, and now he's doing Backdraft.
I mean, really, Glenn, if you're out there, keep doing whatever the fuck you want.
Do you know what his first role was?
The earliest one I know of him was The Dark Knight Rises.
There was one before that.
I don't think I know.
Spy Kids 3D.
Oh, dude, I don't remember those movies as good as
You
you.
know what his character name was?
What?
Long Fingered Boy.
Whoa.
Yep.
So
That's Glenn.
he's the Daniel Day-Lewis of modern actors. Is what you're telling me.
We thought like he's just now popping off, but he's been Long Fingered Boy since 2006.
That's crazy.
We've been the ones asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We haven't opened our eyes, dude.
Yeah.
The Matrix is open.
Yeah, but I gave Twisters a 3.5. And now everything from here on out on my watch list is all X-Men.
All right. Well, before we get into X-Men, I still have that one extra movie I watched. And that extra movie I watched was 12 Monkeys.
Oh.
I forgot to talk about it. I've actually had kind of high hopes for it. I heard that there was like a twist that you didn't really see coming. That was false. Saw that shit coming. It's pretty clear what was going to happen.
Damn.
And it's Bruce Willis, Brad Pitt, and I was like, I'll check it out. It seemed like a cool like indie sci-fi movie, and I didn't like it.
I was in the room when you were watching it. I was like falling asleep on my phone, just not really watching it. But the stuff I saw was fucking weird. And I was like, I'm glad I'm not watching this because this looks like something I don't want to watch right now.
Yeah, I would straight up say not good.
Oh.
Like the visuals, some of the visuals are really cool, and that's kind of Bruce Willis does good in the role, but
I noticed the cinematography, like the way it's shot, is not something I like.
yeah,
I don't like movies like that. It reminded me of like Train Spotting, the way it was shot.
I haven't seen Trainspotting, but yeah, it felt
Like kind of like fishbowl lens.
yeah, it
stuff.
felt very aggressive.
Yeah.
And I definitely wasn't a fan of that, but I was so like dumbfounded like at how much like I was like, people like this. What's going on? What's wrong with me? So I watched a review and I saw a guy talk about like Brad Pitt's performance in the movie being like really good, and like Brad Pitt's a great actor, so I don't want to like downplay that, but like he didn't do anything that blew me away. Like he acted like a crazy person, but did like typical like talking really fast about nonsense.
Yeah.
Like
Having like a lazy eye and shit.
it's consumerism, man. Like they're just trying to get us just through the TVs, man, through the commercials. Like that's what he did the whole fucking movie.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't really like that. That's not very good. Bruce Willis was the big standout. He did good, and that was kind of it. And the plot felt like a big fucking nothing burger. Without going into spoilers, it's hard to talk about, but like there's this big like build up to something, and you find out, oh, it's not actually that. It was this other random thing. And I was like, oh.
Oh, awesome. Oh, sweet.
I went, oh, damn. And I don't know, dude. This shit, like, I returned it.
Damn.
I turned it in. I was like, I don't want this
I'll
on my shelf.
probably not watch it then.
Yeah,
I think I saw enough. That's quite enough, sir.
yeah. And then, like, there was some cool ideas in the movie, but they never used any of them. And even the review, I talked about, like, he was like, by the end of the movie, you don't know if everything was real or if it was fake. And I was like, no, you know. But maybe I'm dumb, because I also said, like, you pretty much knew what happened at the end of Challengers, but I was also uneducated on the rules of tennis. I feel like this is different. I feel like this is very different.
Okay.
But yeah, I didn't really like it.
Damn. Well, you dodged a bullet for me then, or took a bullet for me then, because I was definitely going to watch that someday, but probably won't now.
Yeah, it's not even like, I don't even want to like compare thoughts on it, I would just focus on. You got a pretty big
focus on other.
You got a pretty big list,
Yeah.
so I would just stick with what you know.
All right. So yeah, the rest of my list is X-Men. So I'll just go in order of how I watched everything, and then we'll do a quick ranking at the end. And we won't really talk about them at the end. We'll just rank them.
Okay.
Because we'll talk about them as they come up on the watch list.
Yeah.
First up was X-Men, of course.
Yeah.
2000.
That's where you start.
Yeah. This movie's dated. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. And
sometimes it's nice to get like taken back.
yeah, if someone doesn't like the first X-Men, I get it. It's pretty slow. The first like hour is basically like Logan walking around the mansion. Like,
I do remember that.
just
And
kind of
like Professor X whispering things at him.
yeah, like him just kind of figuring out what's going on and like meeting people and falling in love with Jean Grey for some reason. It's not the best. The story isn't the best. It's basically like Magneto trying to take Rogue and use Rogue's power to turn everybody into mutants. Weird.
Well,
Or kill everybody. One of the two.
I was gonna say if it's turn everyone into mutants, that does make sense because, like, then everyone would be equal.
No, I can't even remember what he was trying to do.
I tell you what, I do remember, the fucking jellyfish guy.
Toad?
No, the guy that like turns into a jelly.
Oh yeah, the
Yeah.
senator.
Yeah, dude, I remember that fucking
Magneto
guy.
kidnaps the senator and turns him into a mutant, and the guy just turns into jelly.
Yeah, it's his ability, dude.
Yeah,
How about you just shoot me in the
What
head?
an ass ability.
Yeah. How about don't be a loser? And he like turns into jelly and jams his head between two bars.
Yeah.
And then like I don't even remember what happened. He like walks up on the beach and then just dies.
No, he dies when he turns into jelly. That's him dying. Storm's there next to him when he turns into jelly, and she goes upstairs to Charles and she's like, yeah, the senator's dead.
So your mutant ability fucking kills you.
Your mutant ability is dying.
The senator's dead. He's that pile of jelly.
Storm, I thought you said the senator was dead. All that's down there is some pile of jelly.
Fuck, dude, I slipped on the senator.
No, the senator is the jelly.
They do like a who's on first. Yeah. The senator is the jelly. God damn, dude, that was so dumb.
Yeah, it's a little stupid.
Oh,
It's
Jesus Christ.
and there's lines in the movie like I'm pretty sure that's the one where she says what happens when a toad gets struck by lightning.
That is the movie. You're
Like there's a
sharp
lot of
guy.
lines like that that's like goofy, and it's just kind of like a comfort movie. It's just kind of fun going back to like a 2000s like cheesy superhero movie before they really knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
It's just kind of endearing. I don't know. It's not the best. I get if people don't like it, but I still have fun with it, even though it's not the most, not one of the best of the franchise.
And you get decent looking Sabretooth.
No. I mean, I don't know what Sabretooth's supposed to look like, but I think he looks like shit.
He doesn't look good, but the only other Sabretooth is Leave, and he's just a guy in a
He's
trench
just a
coat.
guy.
Yeah. He wears a trench coat, which is kind of cool, and he has his fingernails. And the crazy part is, I feel like Sabretooth's design is really fucking cool.
I don't know what he looks like in the comics.
Dude, I'm going to pull up a picture, but you keep talking about X-Men.
Okay. Yeah, I gave X-Men a 3.5. I still enjoy it. It's just not really the best. But next up is X2. And X2 is cum.
Yep.
X2 is fucking awesome. It's everything X-Men is, but better. Every single thing is better. The story's better. William Stryker is such a great villain. You have the scene where Logan is home alone at the mansion protecting all the kids from the soldiers, from Stryker's soldiers.
Careful there.
I almost did a fucking strategy.
He almost tragedied it, dude. This is like
Sabretooth.
Yeah, this is like the clearest picture I could find of Sabretooth. Of like his design. The brown and yellow with like a fur collar.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
I don't know why they didn't do that.
They gave him big eyebrows instead.
Yeah.
That was their compromise.
Yeah. The opening scene with Nightcrawler is one of the best comic book opening scenes probably ever.
Oh, so badass. Do you remember what he says his scars are for? Or the tattoos? Damn, dude, you're fucking on it.
I just watched it.
You're crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, Nightcrawler's really good. But the thing that stuck out to me in X2 where my jaw was on the floor and I was like, that's some of the coolest shit I've ever seen in my life. I already told Carl about it. There's a scene in X2 where Magneto is in prison.
Oh my god.
He's in a plastic prison, obviously, because that's the only way they can contain him. Magneto gets his servant, Mystique, to dress up as a hot lady at a bar and find the prison guard that's in charge of bringing Magneto his meals. She finds the prison guard, she drugs him and injects him in the bathroom once he's asleep. She injects him with iron.
Yeah.
And when he goes into work the next day and brings Magneto his meals, Magneto pulls out the iron from his blood.
Yeah.
And kills him instantly from that.
Yeah, he goes, there's something different about you. Too much iron in your blood. And like fucking collapses, dude.
He takes the iron out of his blood and kills him instantly, and then uses the iron balls to escape from the prison and kill everyone.
Yeah.
That's the coolest shit I've ever seen.
Dude, he turns it into 3 balls. He like shotgun blasts the door. They start withdrawing this bridge on his prison, and he takes one, flattens it out, steps on it, and starts
hovering
floating
across
towards them while the other 2 balls keep blasting in and out.
Yeah,
like it's so fucking
One
cool.
thing they always do great at in X-Men is finding creative ways to display people's powers.
Except for the jelly.
That's not what I'm saying.
I'm playing around.
Yeah. Obviously there's like some powers that just aren't very cool, but
no, you're 100% right.
Like there's so many moments throughout the franchise where Magneto does some wicked shit.
Yeah, Magneto is the huge standout.
Yeah, Magneto is the best example of that, where like they're always finding ways to do creative shit.
Yeah. Magneto is such a badass, dude.
But yeah, X2, like, I've seen some pretty low reviews on my Letterboxd, on my friends list for X2, and I just don't get it.
What's low?
I have it at a 4.5.
Damn.
I think it's fucking awesome.
I don't
on
think
my
I
friends
have it
list,
that high.
I see a couple 2s, a couple 3s.
2 is nuts.
Yeah, it's so fucking good.
Yeah.
And the climax is great. I don't know what else to say about it. It's fucking awesome. And then I watched X-Men: The Last Stand, which is not awesome.
It's the opposite of awesome.
The Last Stand is weird because for some, like, this was the movie they wanted to do the Jean Grey Dark Phoenix storyline, but for some reason they put in 2 storylines.
Yeah.
They did the Jean Grey Dark Phoenix storyline, but also did a storyline where people are creating a cure to cure mutants from having powers.
Yeah.
Like, turn them back into normal humans. Which is a cool idea.
Yeah.
Like, starting this war between the humans and mutants over this cure is
trying to,
a great
sterilize mutants almost.
Yeah. And that's like what would happen probably in real life if we had mutants. That's what people would be wanting to happen. Like, that's a really cool idea, but for some reason the movie's super short. It's an hour and 45 minutes, and they half-bake 2 storylines.
Yeah.
So the Jean Grey storyline is done like shit, and the Cure storyline is done like shit, because they did both of them.
Yeah, and they
it makes no sense. They could have just stuck with the Cure storyline and had a pretty great movie.
Yeah, because the Cure, like, not only does it bring like animosity among mutants and humans, because like the humans are trying to sterilize mutants, but like also among mutants, because there's certain mutant abilities that people like it's easier to deal with than others.
Yeah, and some people
Like,
don't want their powers.
Yeah,
Like Rogue.
Magneto, you can be Magneto, but like being Mystique or being Beast kind of fucking sucks, dude.
And Rogue.
Yeah, Rogue.
Rogue can't touch anyone.
Yeah.
Or she kills him. Like that's another thing that was interesting about that storyline was like Rogue tried to leave and go get the cure because her powers fucking suck.
Yeah.
Like it's a burden on her. Magneto can just not use his powers and then he's a normal guy.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't bother him at all. But Beast is the same way, yeah, like you were saying. But
yeah, that's actually traditionally Rogue and Gambit are like romantically involved. And I think Gambit, if I'm not mistaken, I think Gambit gets like jealous over Iceman because Iceman can touch her sometimes, and Gambit can't. Sad.
Yeah. Some of the romantic things they decide to do in this franchise are weird.
Yeah.
And you just kind of accept it because you assume that's how it is in the comics. And now that I'm learning more about the comics, no. The whole Logan loving Jean Grey thing, they just made that shit up.
Dude, that's been my least favorite part of those movies.
It's so weird. Yeah. And in X2 it happens a lot where like Jean Grey is with Scott Summers. That's like always pretty much how it is from what I've seen. They're pretty much always together. But Logan is like hitting on Jean Grey all the time. And then there's a part in X2 where they just start making out.
Yeah.
I'm like, so you're cheating on Scott and Logan's going after a woman that's taken. Like, this is a bad look on both ends.
Yeah.
What's happening? These are heroes.
Also, in those movies, all the X-Men movies, really, Scott really takes a back seat. Like, I don't think
they don't
really,
do anything with him.
They don't know what to do. And, like, we finished the franchise, and I was like, who's the leader of the X-Men? You're like, Professor X. And I was like, traditionally, it's Cyclops. Mm-hmm. Like, he's like...
They don't do
he's
that
like their
in
Captain
movies.
America, and he really doesn't do anything.
What I've noticed with the X-Men franchise as a whole is the thing it's worst at is characterization. There's really none. Especially with the old ones, like the original trilogy. There's borderline no characterization.
Yeah.
You don't... Like, Storm's just there.
Yep.
Like, there's no attempt to make Storm a real character with any sort of arc or depth or anything.
She just like shows up and does cool shit.
Cyclops is the same way.
Yeah.
We are shown no reason why Logan loves Jean Grey. He just shows up in the first X-Men and he's like, "You're hot."
Yep.
And that he's just in love with her.
It's just a horn dog.
Like, they have no chemistry together. There's no reason why he loves her, and he just does. Yeah. And it's weird. That storyline should have not been added.
Yeah.
But yeah, I gave X3 a 2. It's not very good, but it's still, just because I like the cast, I just love that original, like, Hugh Jackman, Patrick Stewart, Ian McKellen, Halle Berry. Like, I just love that, like, original group.
How'd you feel about Juggernaut?
Bad.
I'm the Juggernaut, bitch.
Yeah, not good. I think that was it. Yeah. It's just messy. Like, they could have picked one story or the other, and it probably would have been pretty decent. But I guess what I was trying to say was, like, it's watchable because of the cast, but it's not very good.
Yeah, I did like the introduction of Pyro in First Class, but like even then, like those first, like, X-Men is the worst about taking someone and just putting them in normal clothes.
Yeah.
Like,
X-Men
it's okay to have costumes.
The X-Men have cool ass suits.
Yeah. Almost every X-Men I like their design.
Yeah. Either have them in their own suits or have them in, like, the yellow matching suits.
Yeah.
One or the other. For some reason in the original trilogy they put them in, like, black leather.
Yeah.
Like, it's weird. I don't know I guess they tried to take it too serious.
Yeah, there are like characters that have bad designs that you should change.
Yeah.
But most of the X-Men look fucking awesome.
Like, imagine if in the original Avengers, they were all wearing, like, an Avengers suit that matched. It's like, that's dumb.
Yeah.
I want to see Captain America in his suit, and Thor in his suit, and Iron Man in his Iron Man suit. Like, I want to see all of them in their shit.
Yeah.
And they never do that with the original X-Men. They're all matching in, like, black leather for some reason. But the next one up is First Class. I skipped Origins for obvious reasons that shouldn't be stated.
You didn't want to see Blob?
Did you just call me Blob?
You just call me Blob? I said Bub.
Yeah,
Classic.
I just didn't feel like watching it.
Did you know I've seen that movie like 6 times?
I'm sorry.
It was one of those movies that was just like always on.
Yeah.
So I don't know why, but I watched it. I did play the X-Men Origins video game though.
Hell yeah.
Pretty badass actually, dude.
I bet.
I kind of dug it.
I bet.
Had nothing to
Probably
do.
better than the movie.
It was, dude. It had nothing to do with the movie. You were like fought Sentinels and shit.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's what the movie should have been.
Yeah, dude, I just fucking howling away at people.
You were playing the Origins game. I was playing the Madagascar game.
Yeah, we had different. We had different stuff.
I was playing
dude.
the Barnyard game.
Yeah. I never played the Barnyard game.
Oh, you missed out.
Yeah, I'm a fucking loser, dude.
Yeah.
You had cool stuff like Joe Dirt. And I was over here fucking dicking around.
Yep. That's on you. Next up was First Class. I gave it a 4.
I love First Class.
Really
dude.
fuck with First Class.
I love it.
One of the downsides for First Class for me is that you don't really get much of the titular X-Men characters.
Mm-hmm.
You get Charles and Eric, which is the high point of the movie.
Yeah.
Charles and Eric they're perfectly cast. They have great chemistry. You learn a lot about them and their dynamic and why they are the way that they are, and that's like perfect pretty much.
Yeah.
No, almost nothing I'd change there.
Yeah.
But outside of them two, a lot of the characters like you don't really see again. Like
You still have
Mystique and Hank is there, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hank's there. But
then you get Banshee.
Banshee
who never shows up again.
Yeah.
Havoc, who shows up again in Days, but not for long.
Yeah, and then I forgot to mention in X3 they cram in Angel for some reason. Like he has no purpose in the movie at all. He's just there.
I remember when I first watched X3, dude, and the opening scene of him like
cutting off his wings.
Yeah, grossed me out so bad.
Yeah, the kid who plays young Angel is the kid who plays Max in Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
Oh shit!
So that was the best scene in the movie for the Max cameo.
Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah,
I never put that one together.
Yeah, Angel fucking sucks. But yeah, it kind of sucks not having like everyone there.
Yeah,
like the whole X-Men team, like Cyclops and Storm and everybody. But
when that movie was like announced, I didn't mind it just because of like this is the early days, and obviously those characters don't exist yet. And I was excited to learn more about Eric and Charles, and I think that Magneto is a excellent written character in these movies, and I think that Professor X is too. I think everything he does makes sense. I think his character is really good. And then I like Hank. Mystique can be weird sometimes though throughout the series.
Yeah, she can. I love Shaw as a villain. Love Kevin Bacon. And the direction is really fucking good. Like I said earlier, there's like montages in the movie where Matthew Vaughn's like the editing. It's just there's some action that's fucking really good,
dude.
And you get the team with the yellow suits on, like for the first, like the only time ever, pretty much. Like it's pretty fucking awesome.
Did you listen to Sublift?
Yeah.
The score that plays when he fucking pulls it out of the fucking ocean.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude.
Yeah.
And like, I'm a sucker for a training montage, dude. But when he's fucking training everybody, anytime Charles is with Eric and he's like, you got to tap into that in between, like, motion.
Yeah.
It's so good.
It's like he said, between rage and serenity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Badass. That's fucking cool as hell.
Yeah. Yeah, the Charles Eric dynamic is brilliant. It's fucking perfect. That's like that's the reason to watch First Class.
Yeah.
But I just like I'll talk about some of my problems later after First Class, and I'll kind of bring it back up. But after that, I watched Days of Future Past.
Yep, the next one.
One of everyone's favorite X-Men movies, and I'd have to agree.
Yep.
It's really fucking good.
You get like 2 seconds of Bishop, which is cool. Return of Kitty Pryde. Who else is there in the beginning? Iceman too. I really like Iceman, and they never use
Portal
him.
guy, portal person.
Yeah, I forgot who that was. Oh, Blink. I don't know. To this day, I don't know who that guy was that was jumping around with just a knife.
Yeah, I don't know.
He was just stabbing things.
Yeah.
I don't know if he even had a power. I think he just had a knife. And then just went to work. But I love Days of Future Past, dude. I thought the merging of like the Charles and Eric that I know, like the X-Men I know, with the past X-Men was really cool.
Yeah.
And it fit in the Days of Future Past like storyline to use that.
Yeah. To be honest, the franchise should have ended here.
Yeah.
This is like a climactic, satisfying end to the X-Men. But then they keep going. And X-Men Days of Future Past on its own is very good.
Yeah.
It's a really interesting storyline. All the characters are pretty, like, their motivations are pretty clear and everything makes sense. I know when in the scene, I guess minor spoilers for Days of Future Past, but in the scene when they're about to kill Peter Dinklage and he gets away, and Magneto finds out that Mystique is the reason that the Sentinels are created, and they use Mystique's DNA to create the Sentinels, and basically that's what makes the mutants go extinct later in the future.
Yeah.
And so they save like Peter Dinklage's character, and Mystique doesn't kill him, and then you see Magneto pull the gun over and aim it at Mystique, and I was like, holy fuck.
Yeah, dude.
Like, that makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Because they have the same goal in mind in terms of, like, you know, we need to not let this timeline happen. But they don't want to kill Mystique because they love her. But Magneto is very, like, no fucks given. Like,
yeah. If I have
you
to,
are the
like,
reason that we go extinct.
Yeah, if it's you versus us, I'm always gonna pick us.
Yeah, I don't like. Yes, I care. I like you as a person, but like, you're the reason that they kill us in the future. So he tries to. He's like, I'm not taking any chances. I'm killing you now. And I was like, that's fucking genius.
Yeah, dude. It's like when people talk about, like, if you could go back in time and kill baby Hitler, like, could you actually do it? And like, Magneto's the guy that's like, yep.
Yeah.
I can do it.
Yeah. But yeah, and then she escapes and he shoots her in the leg and then pulls her toward him with the bullet in her leg.
Yeah, dude.
Like, that's another example of just like, who fucking thinks of this shit? Like, that is so cool.
Yeah.
And the way that that sequence was shot with like the 70s cameras and like it's like news footage.
Yeah.
It's really cool. Really well made. But yeah, that movie's just awesome. I like how the story's told through Logan, and he gets to interact with young Charles, and Charles is normally the one showing Logan the way and teaching him, and it kind of flips and Logan's teaching Charles, and that's pretty awesome. My issue with this movie is they fuck with the timeline. And I was watching these movies, these McAvoy Fassbender movies, and I was like, okay, these are prequels.
Yeah.
They are not prequels because nothing makes sense. If you look at them as prequels, nothing with the original trilogy lines up.
Yeah.
In Dark Phoenix, Mystique dies.
Sick.
In the original trilogy that takes place after that, she's alive.
Yep.
At the end of Dark Phoenix, they name the school Jean Grey School for Gifted Youngsters. In X-Men, it's Charles Xavier School for Gifted Youngsters.
Yeah.
In they meet Nightcrawler for the first time in X2. At the beginning, he tries to kill the president. They meet him then. But in Apocalypse, they meet young Nightcrawler and he joins the X-Men.
Yeah.
What the fuck is going on? Like, nothing fucking makes sense. So I was asking my friends, I was like, am I going crazy here? Like, are these not prequels? Like, these do not connect with the original trilogy. And they said basically everyone kind of just goes with the idea that, like,
They reset the timeline.
They reset the timeline in Days of Future Past, so now the original trilogy isn't canon. Like, that timeline never happened anymore. And I think that's horseshit. Like, I think Days of Future Past as a movie is good, but I think making a movie that makes all the movies that came before it no longer real is stupid. I think that's disrespectful.
So, I have mixed feelings on that because obviously they wanted to go forward with these younger actors and not really do anything with the established content. And Days of Future Past is a really cool storyline, and I think that's kind of like all the events took place up into the Sentinels, and then to stop the Sentinels they had to reset the timeline. I'm not super angry with that because, like, at the end of the day, those first movies had to happen for the new movies to happen. So it's not like they're completely invalid, but I don't know. Like, maybe I would feel better about it if the movies after Days of Future Past were good. But
I just think you can make Days of Future Past and not alter the timeline like that. Just the end of the movie happens, Days of Future Past ends, and you're like, okay, now we're in the same exact timeline, but now there's no Sentinels. Mission accomplished.
yeah, you could do that.
What's wrong with that? They also, at the end of Days of Future Past, they bring back Scott and Jean for no reason. Just, oh, the timeline's different now, so now they're alive. What? What do you mean? Like, it's so fucking stupid.
Wait, in modern times?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't. Maybe
At the end of Days of Future Past, they bring back Jean and
Oh,
Scott.
I do remember that.
Yeah.
Because Wolverine like comes back and he's like shocked to see him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't fucking know, dude. I feel like Days of Future Past was good, and things really started to break through with stuff that was like, this doesn't make any sense whenever you get to Apocalypse and Phoenix.
Right.
Like,
And
if the worst thing that came out of Days of Future Past, that, like, Scott and Jean come back, I don't really care that much. But, like, Apocalypse and Phoenix are rough.
Oh, what the fuck was I about to say? The problem is, like, some people are like, okay, just don't look at him as prequels, and they're just, that's the McAvoy stuff is an alternate timeline. I'm like, okay, sure, but in Days of Future Past, they're saying that that's their younger version. Patrick Stewart's saying James McAvoy is young me. So now the alternate timeline shit doesn't make sense. Like, they're saying those are the younger versions of us, but now everything's different. Like, why did this have to be like this? Why did they do this?
No, I didn't really. I only watched after Days of Future Past. I only watched Apocalypse. Then I stopped like watching because of how bad Apocalypse was. So I never really had like that moment of like, why is this happening? I was like, oh, these movies are just bad now.
Yeah.
So I like that. I didn't have that like question of like,
Yeah.
what's going on.
And guess what? In the prequel storyline, they did Dark Phoenix with Sophie Turner. And then in X3, guess what they do again?
Dark Phoenix.
Dark Phoenix.
Yeah.
So that that storyline happened twice. Like what the fuck? It's so fucking stupid.
I'm tired of them. Like,
Dude, the Dark Phoenix storyline, I'm sorry, it is not that good. It is not a very good storyline.
in the comic books.
I haven't read them, but pretty much I was listening to a guy that has read them, and he's like, dude, they're not even like, it's not even that great of a storyline. Like, I don't know why people want to do it all the time.
I haven't read them, but based on what I know about them, it seems like a really cool storyline. I do know it was used to like reset a bunch of stuff because like in comics there's so many people writing and there's so many stories going on that like occasionally they'll just reset everything and then tell more stories.
Yeah.
And Dark Phoenix was a big reset, but it was done in a really cool way.
Maybe I just hate it because of the two adaptations I've seen, but dude, the Dark Phoenix storyline, like the new one from 2019, that entire movie is just Jean Grey going, I don't know how to control my power. People get hurt when they're around me. Yeah. That's the whole movie.
Yeah.
Like they don't explore it any farther than that. That's like, what are we doing? It's so boring. It's such a boring storyline to watch play out.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I like Days of Future Past a lot as a movie. I think it's really entertaining, but I don't like the consequences of the movie. I don't like what it did.
I got you. I
So-
don't hold that against Days of Future Past though. Like I still have it high up on my list.
Yeah, I don't take it off the rating. It's just like,
Like that does suck. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
yeah, watching the McAvoy movies is very confusing.
Yeah.
You like almost don't think about anything. Just watch the movie. Like don't think about the Charles fucking Patrick Stewart movies at all.
It's so weird too because like First Class I feel like was really tight.
Dude, almost everything in First Class lines up.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing you see in First Class it's like, wait, that wasn't like that in the original trilogy. It starts with Days of Future Past.
Yeah.
Like First Class was on track to be a prequel and like that whole series to just be prequels.
Yeah.
And then they changed it with Days of Future Past.
And then I feel like Days was still even tight except for Jean and Cyclops coming back.
Yeah.
And then after that they were like, well, we can do anything now.
Yeah. It's kind of starting with Apocalypse is when everything starts happening.
And you know what would have been cool actually if they did dedicate to like resetting the timeline, but made it like a big emotional thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like they're killing their old selves almost.
Yeah. Like
But there's no other choice.
actually made that a focal point about how they're changing the timeline.
Yeah, you can't just brush over it and like pretend like, well, these movies don't matter anymore. Like if there was like a life or death situation and they had to make a decision that altered the timeline forever. And it's like, and because Wolverine is sent from the future, he knows the gravity of his actions and like severing that connection.
Yeah. And it's a really emotional
thing. That could be
thing.
really cool. Like,
Yeah.
I'd start crying.
Yeah.
Like those first
Like
three
saying
movies are
goodbye
gone.
to Patrick Stewart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah.
But they didn't do that.
They didn't do that, yeah. After that, I watched The Wolverine, which Carl said he remembered being stinky.
Yep.
But-
I remember it being poopy pants.
She's very beautiful to me. You haven't seen that video.
No.
She's very gorgeous to me. That's what it is. I like the Wolverine. The Wolverine's pretty fucking awesome. It's the Wolverine going to Japan, fucking shit up against the Yakuza. That's what I say.
So when I think of the Wolverine, all I think about is like the boss battle, and then like that's it.
Here's the thing. The Wolverine, the first two acts are a really grounded Yakuza political thriller, action thriller, and it's gnarly. It's really cool. Great
You told me that, and I
performances.
was like, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, great action, great storyline. Like, it's really cool. And then the third act, they cave in and they do generic comic book movie ending, and it's stupid. The ending's stupid. I will agree with you there. It doesn't make any sense. But I still gave it a 3.5 because the first 2 acts are really fun.
Yeah. Dude, the marketing for the Wolverine is so cool. It's like pictures of him with his claws out holding a katana. Like, that's so sick.
Oh.
Like the poster for
I like this poster better.
Oh my
Dude,
God.
it's him like perched on a gargoyle.
God
like
bless.
With a samurai sword. It's black and white.
I'm going to buy a sword, dude.
Yeah, you got to have one.
Yeah.
Self-defense, obviously.
It's really just for pictures.
Yeah, it's cranberry apple. But yeah, I don't know why they made that decision in the third act. Like, it's really weird. If they would have stuck with the grounded, like, story the whole time, it would have been one of the best X-Men movies.
Yeah.
But the third act's pretty...
It would have been like the Logan before Logan.
Yeah, the third act's not the best, though. And then after that, I watched Deadpool and Wolverine, which we'll save talk about last, since that's the big one.
Yep.
X-Men Apocalypse. Wow.
Yeah.
Bad.
I'd
never seen this before.
I told you that this was trash beforehand, and you were like, well, why is it bad? And I was like, I don't even remember, but I know that, like, Apocalypse is one of, like, my favorite X-Men storylines, and he's like, they're Thanos, and it's garbage. That's all I remember.
Yeah. After watching it, I think the reason I kept track of how long it took this movie to have an action sequence. Carl was watching it with me, and I took track. There was not an action sequence in this movie until an X-Men action sequence. There was, like, Apocalypse killing a couple people here and there. But X-Men, there was not an X-Men action sequence until an hour and 45 minutes into the movie.
Yeah, dude.
That is fucking absurd.
Yeah.
I'm not even like why are they... I'm going to skip all this talking. I'm going to put it on ×2 speed. Why are they talking so much?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not one of... I love movies where, like, there's good setup and good characterization and everything, but, like, nothing was happening, dude. I don't like Apocalypse as a villain. So far, maybe I'll read the comics and I'll like him, but he's boring to me. I don't like the... I'm a bad guy and I'm going to end the world, and that's it. Like, I don't like villains where that's their motivation. Yeah. Like, I like more relatable character, like Magneto.
Yeah.
More relatable. You know where they're coming from. You know who they are, why they're doing what they're doing. People like Thanos, even Ra's al Ghul. Like, I like villains like that. And Apocalypse is, like, to me, just generic world-ending bad guy. You don't even know what he wants. He just wants to be God, I guess, and kill everyone.
Yeah.
Like I said, he's probably better in the comics, I'm sure. But in this movie, that's how I felt watching it.
Yeah.
And it's really boring. Like, it's a really boring movie. It's really long, and Apocalypse is not fun to watch to me. And
he doesn't do any of the cool shit that, like, I expected.
Yeah.
Like, when he fights the X-Men, he's, like, 20 stories tall.
Yeah, and they did that for, like, one shot in when Charles went into his head.
Yeah.
Should have just done that. Like, just make him big and not his head.
Yeah.
And there's some really cringy lines.
When he was like, you're in my house now.
You're in my house now.
Oh,
yeah.
God, dude.
Charles Xavier saying that.
And then, like, boxing a guy.
Yeah, boxing a guy in his head.
Yeah.
That's fucking stupid. Yeah, I really don't like X-Men Apocalypse.
Yeah, it's really bad.
I gave it a 1.5.
Fuck yeah.
Because, like, the worst thing you can do is be boring.
Yep.
Like, Origins, I'd rather watch, because at least it's, like, so bad it's kind of funny and entertaining.
Yeah, I mean,
like, you can make fun of it. Seeing Will.i.am and Blob and, like, his cartoon claws in the mirror for some reason. His fucking Looney Tune claws in the mirror.
They're from Acme.
Yeah. But Apocalypse is just boring. The only good scene in the movie is Sweet Dreams.
Yeah.
That's it. really bad. And then I watched Dark Phoenix, and the first half of Dark Phoenix is good, and then it just goes off the rails, and people start making choices that don't make any sense.
That's what you were telling me.
Hank turns on Charles and like blames him for things that aren't his fault, and it's just weird. Weird characterization. They make Jean Grey really boring. They don't explore her character really at all. For some reason, they make a Dark Phoenix movie and then also add in another random villain. Newsflash: Jean Grey is the villain.
Yeah. Bad things are happening already.
Jean Grey is the villain. How about that? That's the point of the Dark Phoenix storyline. And they add in maybe the worst comic book villain I've ever seen. Jessica Chastain's character is like...
I don't even know who she was.
Dude, no one knows who she is. She doesn't know who she is. She's the most forgettable, bland, boring, pointless villain I've ever seen in a movie.
I didn't even watch the whole thing, right? I caught like the beginning and like a little bit of the end, and I was like, this makes no fucking sense.
It's
because she was like, she said she was this. I guess this is spoilers for Dark Phoenix. Should I not get into spoilers?
No, you get it. Spoilers.
She was like this alien, and they've been following this energy source throughout space, and the only person that's been able to come in contact with it and survive is Jean Grey. But then she proceeds to absorb that energy source from Jean Grey and live.
Yep.
And like wants to absorb the energy from Jean Grey.
Mm-hmm.
So you could have done this the whole fucking time.
Yep.
Why weren't you the guy out there?
Yep,
Suck that shit
Rooney.
up. What the hell's going on?
Yeah, it's pretty mind-blowing. So it really takes a turn in the second half. It's not very good. There's a train sequence. It's a little fun.
I did like the train sequence.
But, yeah, Dark Phoenix is pretty shit. But not as shit as the New Mutants. Dude,
you're alone on this one, dude. I haven't
dude,
I haven't been assaulted by the New Mutants like you have.
Holy fuck. This, like, the best way to sum this up is what I just said a few minutes ago. The worst crime you can commit is being boring. At least there's some movies like Origins. Like, Origins is a bad movie, but it's fun bad.
Yeah.
You can have fun
Shit
watching
happens.
it. You cannot have fun watching the New Mutants. It is physically impossible. It is the most lifeless, boring fucking movie. Like, I gave it a half star. I can't really think of a single positive. Even the actors in the movie that I would normally like Anya Taylor-Joy, I don't even think she's particularly good. Like, there's no bright spot. There's no. I can't really give it a positive. Like, every single thing is lackluster.
Dude, first off, props to the marketing department for New Mutants, because I remember seeing the trailer and thinking it looked sick as hell.
It's a X-Men movie where it's like a one location horror movie.
Yeah,
like that sounds kind of cool.
And I'm pretty sure they played like a Nirvana song. So I was like, this looks awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, I think they played "Smells Like Teen Spirit."
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So what's the fucking concept?
The concept is there's these 5 mutants in this like asylum home, basically, where it's kind of like Glass, like where this doctor's like keeping these people here to try to help them, and she's saying like, once you're cleared and once you're better, you'll go to a better facility, and like the audience is supposed to believe that she's talking about Charles' school.
Yeah.
And there's a twist, and it's not Charles' school, but yeah, each mutant has a power, obviously, and like this fucked up shit keeps happening, and like kind of whatever you're scared of keeps tormenting people. Sort of like It.
Oh, gotcha.
And then I guess okay, I'm gonna spoil the New Mutants.
That's fine. I don't think I'll be observing.
Yeah. And then basically the twist is that one of the kids is doing it. Like, one of the kids, they don't know what their powers are, and their powers, like, they're a telepath, and they're like creating all these illusions and
I want you to
people's
know,
heads.
before you said that, I assumed that.
Yeah, that's what everyone would assume.
I was like, so it's one of the kids. It's either the doctor has powers and is fucking with him for no reason, or one of the kids has the power to make you see your nightmares.
Yeah, the twist is that one of the kids is like making all these fears come to life for all the other kids, and then the other twist is that the doctor doesn't have the best intentions, and they're not trying to send them off to be X-Men. They're trying to train them to be killers, and it turns out she works for Essex Corp.
Oh.
Which I don't know a ton about Essex Corp, but I just know it's bad. I just know
Yeah.
like in X-Men, it's like what bad people work for. So yeah, that's
sick. Just awesome.
Really bad. Really fucking bad.
Cool
movie.
stuff.
Like if I ever meet anyone that thinks the New Mutants is a good movie, I'll
run them over with my car.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a conversation with them.
Yeah.
I need to know what's going on inside that noggin.
I think Jeffrey Dahmer's dead, so you can't really...
Yeah, so that eliminates all the options. Yeah. And then today I watched Logan.
Fuck yeah.
And 5-star. Used to be like one of my favorite movies, and then I watched more movies.
Yeah, it's still so good.
More has risen the ranks, but it's still just so fucking good. It's everything that like the other X-Men movies aren't.
Yeah.
Like the X-Men Apocalypse tries to be this like huge world-ending stakes, and in the meantime they do no characterization at all, and you don't care what's happening. And Logan is a small, self-contained story focused on the characters.
Yep.
And that's what movies, like some movies, understand and really get right. And it's a perfect send-off. The action's great. Hugh Jackman's best performance. And the end made me cry. Like,
yeah, dude.
Like tears running down my face cry.
Oh, yeah.
And
when
at the end he says, "Don't be what they made you."
Oh my god, dude.
Like that made me cry.
Dude, for some reason I was like sitting there glancing at it with you, and when he was watching them videos on that lady's phone, like when I watched it the first couple times, like I never really, I guess because I saw it as like superheroes, but like I was like not super traumatized by that, but like that's some fucked up shit, dude.
Yeah. Growing kids.
Yeah. And then like you see X-23 with like all like the knives, like her arms and legs like cut open with the knives and shit in it.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, that's a little girl. You got fucking dissected.
Yeah. And she said that like they were finding like young women to like have these kids.
Yeah.
Like inject them with basically semen.
Yeah.
And like create these mutants. And then they just like got rid of the women. Like
I think she said like the women like didn't make it most of the time.
Yeah.
So they're just snatching girls off the street.
People.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really awful shit.
Yeah.
But
really dark movie.
Yeah, it's a really dark movie. I completely forgot, spoilers for Logan, that that black family that he stays with, X-23 kills all of them.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Like the kid and the mom and the dad, all of them die.
Mm-hmm.
That is awful.
It's crazy, dude.
And like Logan was hesitant to go, like he didn't want to go to that dinner, and then Charles was like, "That would be lovely."
Yeah.
And because Charles, like, he wants to spend time, like he loves people, like he wants to spend time with people and like get Logan talking to more people, and like that is so fucking sad.
Yeah, dude.
But yeah, Logan's perfect.
And then fucking old man Charles is like rough.
Yeah. I wish Patrick Stewart's really good in that movie too.
He is.
It's easy
really
to
good.
forget that he's not like that.
It's easy to forget that he's not just Professor X.
Yeah, like
like I just see him as Professor X.
Like Logan was only 3 years after Days of Future Past, and
Yeah.
like he's like normal Patrick Wilson, Charles Xavier in that movie.
Yeah.
And in this movie, he's like dying and going crazy.
Yeah.
And it's hard to disconnect that sometimes in your head and be like, he's acting like that.
Yeah.
Like he's not actually like this. He's putting on a performance. Same with Hugh Jackman. Like how Hugh Jackman in Deadpool and Wolverine's like prime like Wolverine.
Yeah.
But in Logan he's like dying and old and coughing and like
shaking
gross.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and he made Logan like 8 years ago.
Yeah. That's
like,
crazy.
He was acting like he was old and dying, and not because it was actually happening. Like,
Yeah.
I know that sounds stupid. Like, yeah, he's an actor. Of course, that's what he was doing. But it's like, it's easy to forget that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Logan's fucking awesome. But did you have anything else to talk about, or are we just gonna rank him real quick?
Do you want to rank him, or do you want to talk about Deadpool, Wolverine?
Oh fuck yeah, Deadpool and Wolverine. We should probably talk about that.
Yeah, we could just touch base.
Yeah, I liked it a lot on first watch. It was actually kind of taking a while to like there was the first 45 minutes I wasn't really on board with it.
Yeah, it took a while for the wheels to start turning.
It was like kind of annoying me at first, actually. With him like at CarMax,
yeah,
and doing the stuff with Peter, and like going to Marvel and talking to Happy Hogan. Like, I was thinking about this, and you can completely take out the section of him going to Marvel, and it's the same movie.
Well, yeah, like you don't have to see that, like,
because the plot of the movie is his timeline's getting destroyed, so he needs help saving it. That has nothing to do with Marvel.
Yeah, I guess it's just like an explanation for why he's like at CarMax and down in the dumps.
But that's what I'm getting at more so is like that storyline should have never happened.
Yeah,
I don't like him giving up Deadpool because the Avengers turned him down.
Yeah,
that seems very anti-Deadpool.
Yeah,
it seems like the opposite of what he would do.
I think it should have been
like he makes fun of the X-Men all the time in his movies.
Yeah, I think it should have been like he just gets snatched up from doing shit. Like he could be out doing something goofy as Deadpool, and then they just snatch him up like that.
They're like, "Hey, your timeline's getting destroyed, but you can go to this one."
The movie plays out exactly the same, but instead of like, I guess his fear is that he's not good enough to be a hero, but that could still be his fear.
Yeah.
Because he struggles with being a hero.
Yeah. And he can just keep having, first of all, they should have never brought Vanessa back to life in the Deadpool 2 end credit scene.
Yeah.
She should have stayed dead. That was an actual ballsy decision that they made to kill Vanessa, and it made them Deadpool, like, that's part of the reason I love Deadpool 2 so much, is because of that decision, and then they brought her back to life for no fucking reason. And now in Deadpool 3, she's, like, back, but they're not together anymore because he's a pussy, and she found some other guy, and like I don't like that concept. I don't like her coming back to life and then them breaking up because he goes to Marvel for a job interview and then they turn him down, and now he's like depressed and sad and works at CarMax. It's fucking weird.
Yeah,
Deadpool has always been like, he's gonna do his own thing. He's gonna make fun, like he makes fun of the X-Men all the time.
Yeah,
that's his whole shtick.
Yeah,
it's like, I'm better than them. Like they're jerk offs. Like,
he does it all throughout Deadpool 1.
Yeah,
basically he makes fun of Negasonic and Colossus for trying to be good, and like same thing with Deadpool 2.
Yeah,
and then 3. Like, I get that he had an arc in Deadpool 2. I like his arc, but like just have him be struggling with being a hero because he keeps like killing people, or he keeps fucking up, or he keeps not taking things seriously, and then the movie plays out exactly the same.
Yeah. You can completely take that out. It was like they just put it in there because they want to show that he's in Marvel now, but also they didn't put him in the timeline.
Yeah.
So he's not. Like, what, like
yeah.
It's weird. Like, Deadpool is technically in the Marvel universe now, but they turned him down, and so he's not in the Marvel universe. I don't know. That's weird. I don't know why they included that. And that scene just wasn't very funny either. It just, the movie kind of took a while to get the train rolling, and like once he meets up with Wolverine, then it's sort of gets more entertaining.
Yeah.
But listen, I understand the people that don't like this movie because it's kind of just a gimmick.
Yeah.
Like, the movie is just an excuse to have Deadpool and Wolverine interact together.
Yeah.
That's all it is. The writing's not the best. The motivations aren't the best. There's some things that don't really make sense. But you're going to the movie to see Deadpool and Wolverine together. And if that's what you want, you'll get it, and you'll probably be happy. That's what I wanted.
Yeah.
I just wanted to see Deadpool and Wolverine together, maybe a couple cool cameos, and have a good time, and that's what happened for me. Now, Deadpool 1 and 2, I think those are quality movies.
Yeah.
I don't think that is the case with 3. Like, I think 3 is borderline just like fan fiction come to life.
Yeah.
And that's going to make some people mad. But I will say, there's movies that just do cameos for the fuck of it, just to have cameos, like The Flash. This isn't necessarily that, because they actually work the cameos really well into the narrative.
Yeah.
With the Void, and how the Void has all these characters that people don't care about anymore that got thrown away.
Yeah.
So that's why they're there. Like, that makes sense. Like, in The Flash, they just show Christopher Reeve for no reason. And they just show Nicolas Cage for no reason. They serve no... The movie's the exact same without them. But, like, what's cool about Deadpool and Wolverine is they actually, like, are in the story.
Yeah.
So, you know, I guess we'll get into spoilers for Deadpool and Wolverine. If you haven't seen it. Spoiler warning.
Yeah.
There's a couple cool cameos. I liked Johnny Storm. Thought that was a cool one.
Yeah. And the reveal of him being Johnny Storm instead of Cap was funny.
Yeah, it was funny. Blade is cool.
Yep.
I fuck with Blade a lot.
That
was like the last thing I saw coming.
Yeah. There's only gonna be one Blade.
Yeah. That was funny. I like that. That was one of the better jokes.
Yeah.
And then him looking at the camera.
Yeah.
And I don't give a fuck about Elektra, to be honest. I couldn't give two shits. I honestly, the second she came on screen, I thought she was Queen Maeve. I was like, do they have the rights to the boys' characters? Like, no,
Christ.
like, there's no way that's Queen Maeve. Like, that's how she looked to me at first.
No, I saw Elektra, dude. I think I just hate Elektra as a character, dude.
Yeah,
because
she's just boring.
I don't give a fuck about her.
Yeah,
at all.
My favorite cameo was Gambit, because it's not just like
it's hard to tell anymore. I think I was born here.
Because it's not just like, hey, remember this guy? Like, Gambit never got his movie.
Yeah.
So it's like a cool inside joke with people that are nerds and know about Channing Tatum's like Gambit movie that was never made. But it's sort of like really sweet to give Channing Tatum the opportunity to like play Gambit.
Yeah.
Since he never will, like, for his own movie, to even if it's just like a section of the movie, to have him play it, and like he actually looks pretty awesome. Like,
yeah.
Looks like a cool Gambit, and like fights cool, and that was definitely my favorite. You got the Cavalrine too. That was fun.
Yeah, the different Wolverines were funny to watch.
The short one,
Yeah.
comic accurate Wolverine.
Yeah.
I liked the intro with NSYNC.
Yep.
It's been stuck in my head. I kind of want to go rewatch it just to see that again.
Hell yeah.
It's kind of like, I keep thinking about how Deadpool just defiled Logan's grave.
Yeah.
And grabbed his adamantium bones, and like murdered people with it, and just left it there.
I mean, I think
like,
there's
I thought I know it's Deadpool, and like, don't take it too seriously, but I thought the post-credit scene was going to be Deadpool going back to Logan's grave and like arranging his bones in like skeleton shape, and like tucking him back in and like burying him.
That would have been funny.
I thought that would be funny, and also like sort of like pay some respect to him a little bit, and like I don't know, like
I think it's still like that being his Wolverine. That means that like Logan, the movie Logan being Deadpool's Wolverine, means that like the things that happen in Deadpool 2 also happen in like Logan.
Yeah.
And Deadpool and stuff. But in Logan, it's basically like the end of the world and all mutants are extinct. But in Deadpool, like, you see a little flash of the X-Men and they go to the X-Men house.
Logan's set in the future.
Yeah, but in Deadpool 3, he digs up his skeleton from Logan.
Oh,
You see what I'm saying?
yeah.
It kind of Days of Future Past itself.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Yeah, there's a lot of that in this movie. A lot of things that don't make sense if you think about them for too long. But, you know, sometimes you just go to the movies and you have a good time. And that's kind of what this was. I thought Hugh Jackman was great, as always. The fight scenes are really the standout.
Yeah,
the fight scenes are really
great.
good.
Anytime there's conflict, I was loving it.
The opening NSYNC fight scene is great. The first, like, wasteland in front of the Fox sign, just 1v1,
I love
where they
that
play
shit.
Hell's Bells. Dude, I've been listening to Hell's Bells, like, a lot this year, and I was like, dude, why hasn't anyone used this in a movie?
Dude, are you getting into
It's like-
AC/DC a little bit?
A little bit, yeah.
Hell yeah.
If I'm at the gym or something, I don't want something badass.
Love
Like, the
AC/DC.
second I hear Hell's Bells, I'm like, this should be, like a walkout song.
Hell's Bells.
Yeah, like someone gearing up and, like, putting on their superhero suit or something.
Yeah.
Like, this should be playing. Like,
Yeah.
Why has this not happened yet? And when I heard it in Deadpool and Wolverine, I was like, I knew I was right. This is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Their fight was really cool. Wolverine did his, like, the run.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's, like, a comic thing, right? Him running like that on all fours.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know that for sure, but the second I saw it, I was like, I'm sure that's, like, traditional Wolverine stuff.
They do, like, in the original movies, they do him, like, flying towards you with his fists out. But it was cool to see.
Which he does that a lot in the X-Men movies, too.
Yeah. It was cool to see him do the actual, like, pounce, dude.
Yeah.
That was sick.
Yeah. Their fight was awesome. Their car fight was really good.
Yeah. I love the car fight. I like the baby knife joke. That was really good.
Baby knife?
Yeah. Anytime he pulled out that, like, little knife in his boot, he'd go, baby knife, and then stab you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. In terms of jokes that stick out for me, I think the funniest one to me was probably when Deadpool was talking to Gambit, and he was like, "Who is your dialect coach? The fucking Minions?"
Yeah. I like that one. And then Gambit saying that he shot out of his dad's penis ready. That one was good.
Jokes.
I liked him getting Johnny killed.
Oh, yeah.
That was really funny.
Yeah, that was good.
And then
I loved when they were at the TVA and he looks back at Wolverine, like, waking up, and he was like, "Oh, hey, gorgeous, welcome to the MCU. You came in at kind of a low point."
you came in kind of a low point.
Yeah, that was...
I like
most of the jokes making fun of Marvel was good.
Yeah. What was the other one I liked?
Oh, your Taylor's a predator.
And I love it. Fuck, what did he say? Damn it, I can't remember. I had something I was going to say and I forgot. But yeah, a lot of the jokes landed for me.
Yeah. I didn't think that Nice Pool was very funny.
The what?
Nice Pool. I don't know what his name is.
Oh, yeah, no, I didn't like Nice Pool that much.
I thought the proposal thing, like...
Oh.
I can gently tap the fourth wall as well. The proposal.
Yeah,
I thought
is
that
that
was
what you
funny.
think I do? I really liked the I made an educated wish.
Yeah.
And then the callback to that was
Yeah, that was
cool.
awesome. I thought the ending was pretty great. I hate fake deaths, so that kind of bothered me.
Yeah.
But I was like, I thought they might kill Wolverine because he's like an alternate timeline kind of one-off thing that would make sense. But I was like, there's no way they killed Deadpool. Like, they want to leave that door open for, like, Secret Wars and later stuff.
Yeah.
So I hate fake deaths, so I wish they wouldn't have done that. But the actual, like, climax where they're holding hands and it's playing Like a Prayer,
Yeah, dude, that
like,
shit was awesome.
that was super fucking cool.
So cool.
And Wolverine wanting to do it because, like, he doesn't have anything left.
Yeah.
And Deadpool has friends and family and stuff. and then Deadpool like jumping in and doing it instead of him, and he's like, "You don't have to do this," and he's like, "I'm not doing it because I have to. I'm doing it because they need me to," or something like that.
Yeah.
It was a callback to earlier in the movie. I thought that was good. I didn't really like the section where all the Deadpools came out.
I didn't like that either.
It felt very random and not like just fodder for them to murder to have another fight scene. It didn't really like feel like it made sense, and none of them were funny to me either.
Yeah.
None of the Deadpools were cool.
Yeah, I didn't like that much. Like, it's tough because I really liked the actual sequence. I liked the fight, but I didn't like that it was a bunch of Deadpools.
Yeah,
like,
the fight sequence was really well done.
Yeah, I wish it had just been like, go whole hog. Like, if you're in the void and you're using all these crazy characters, fucking bring in wild ass characters.
Yeah.
Like, don't just do a bunch of Deadpools.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't love that.
Like, there were so many. We saw Cassandra's hideout. Like, we saw the fucking Last Stand, Juggernaut, and Pyro, and fucking all these random people just bring in some fucking crazy shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't love all the Deadpools. The fight when all the squad and the Void are rolling up in the van, and like, I can't remember what song they play. It's some rap song.
Oh,
when they pull up to Cassandra, it's not on the soundtrack for some reason. I can't find it, and I don't remember what song they played.
Yeah, it was awesome.
But they like mixed the song with the score. It was
Yeah.
really fucking cool. But yeah, that sequence was really cool. Seeing Gambit fight and using his powers and stuff. Blade.
Dude, he did the fucking boomerang too.
Yeah.
God, oh my, that's
Some
so cool.
motherfuckers still trying to ice skate uphill.
Still trying to ice skate uphill. God dang, dude.
I wish he would have pulled out the motherfucker. You lost your damn mind.
Dude, I was hoping to God he was gonna say motherfucker at some point, but they didn't do it.
And it was R-rated too. He could have dropped 10 of them.
Yeah,
That's
that
crazy.
was
Crazy
his
that he
thing.
didn't. Yeah, I'm trying to think if I've forgotten to mention anything. I do want to rewatch it. I want to see how well it holds up.
Yeah,
I feel like if you start thinking about stuff too much, it's going to start falling apart even more. So you just kind of have to take it for what it is.
yeah. I think it's so fun that I don't really like read into it that much.
Yeah. Yeah, sort of like No Way Home.
Plus, I do come in my pants seeing Wolverine in his original costume.
Yeah.
It's yeah.
And he finally puts the mask on.
Yeah. Oh, dude, he looks so cool in the mask.
Yeah.
How is this the first time that they've done that, dude? That's really
Yeah,
crazy.
They've whiffed a lot on Wolverine. Like, not anything Hugh Jackman's done, obviously. He's done his best, but, like, in terms of his design and the stories they've done with him, like, just haven't really capitalized on everything.
Yeah.
But that's kind of X-Men in general.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess that's it. I like the soundtrack. The action's great. It's funny. I gave it a 4. And I want to watch it again and see how well it holds up.
Yeah.
But as of right now, I have it at my number 3 for the year.
Ooh.
Over Furiosa and Kingdom. Could change.
Yeah.
But I'm just thinking about, like, what did I have the most fun watching? And it was more fun than Furiosa and Kingdom.
I wish I could say I disagree with you, but I think you're right.
Yeah. But we'll go ahead and rank the X-Men real quick. Do you have your list?
I do.
Okay. How many do you have on there?
12.
Okay, so you're missing the New Mutants and what?
Should just be the New Mutants.
I have 14.
What do you got? X1, 2, or 3. Oh, I don't think I have Origins on here.
Well, that's it.
Okay. Let me go to the bottom real quick.
Hey. Hey now.
All right, I got it.
All right. Last up's the New Mutants at number 14.
Spoiler alert.
13, Dark Phoenix.
I have Apocalypse. And just because...
Oh, wait. Have I not? This might be in the wrong order. Oh, I have them both at the same rating. I'll leave Apocalypse above it just for the Sweet Dreams.
Oh.
Because, like, that's better than anything in Dark Phoenix.
It is, but
it's too long.
I put Apocalypse below there below Phoenix because it's a storyline that means more to me that they folded on.
Yeah. So we just have those swapped?
Yeah.
Dark Phoenix and then Apocalypse. You have Apocalypse and Dark Phoenix.
Yeah.
At number 11, I have Origins.
I got Origins.
Hell yeah. Number 10, I have The Last Stand.
I got Last Stand.
Number 9, I have The Wolverine.
I've got the Wolverine.
Hell yeah.
Dude, are we doing this?
At number 8, I have X-Men 1.
I've got X-Men 1.
Oh my god.
All right, this is one that's going to get crazy.
7 is Deadpool.
Ooh, I have X2 at 7.
What?
It's been a long time since I've watched those, and
Naughty.
maybe. I mean, I definitely overdue for a rewatch, but I have X2.
Number 6 for me is Deadpool and Wolverine.
I have Deadpool at 6.
Okay. Number 5, X-Men First Class.
I got First Class.
Number 4, Deadpool 2.
I got Deadpool and Wolverine.
Okay. Number 3, Days of Future Past.
Days.
Hell yeah. 2, I have X2.
2, I got Deadpool 2.
Okay. And then number 1,
Logan.
The New Mutants.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, number 1's Logan. And that's just the news.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
them's the rumors.
it's like not even a discussion.
Yeah, it's definitely
Like
Logan.
you most franchises there's like a couple options for best movie.
Yeah.
Not here.
It's either you're smart or you're not.
Logan is in I love the X-Men movies, but Logan is in a different stratosphere than every other X-Men movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess that's all.
Well, speaking of X-Men, do you want to give a little
Oh
quick
yeah, forgot to mention. We
tidbit?
watched episode 1 of X-Men 97 last night. And I came in my pants.
Dude, it's so fucking cool.
I've been on such like an X-Men grind recently, like watching all the movies. I watched every X-Men movie except Origins.
Yeah.
I watched every
It's
single one.
crazy that you would watch New Mutants, Dark Phoenix, and Apocalypse, but not Origins.
Well, I've seen Origins a lot.
Oh, okay.
I used to watch it a lot when I was stupid.
Oh, okay.
But the other ones I didn't remember anything. And I still might watch Origins just to complete it and just say I rewatched all the X-Men movies.
Yeah.
But point is, I just been in an X-Men mood and
Yeah.
wanting to consume a lot of X-Men content. I've been looking into reading the comics and stuff like that. And people said X-Men 97 was amazing. And when it was coming out and people were talking about it every week, and I was like, I mean, it's probably cool. Like, but it's a cartoon. Like
I never expected it to be what I saw.
I was like, how good can it be? So I just didn't watch it. And now that I'm in an X-Men mood, we watched episode 1, and holy fuck.
Dude, rock hard the whole time.
Like, that is not what I expected. There were a couple moments. First of all, the theme song is fucking perfect.
Dude.
Listen to this shit.
Oh.
And then there's a scene, like there's just some baller ass shit. In episode 1,
Yeah.
Cyclops igniting Wolverine's claws.
Gambit, yeah.
Gambit, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, igniting Wolverine's claws.
They did some cool shit with Cyclops too. He was using his vision to like bounce himself to like slide around
Yeah. Yeah.
as like a movement.
And then there's a scene when Cyclops says, "Give him the forecast." And then Storm shows up and this plays. And you see all this lightning and shit. Like,
fuck, dude?
I looked at Carl and I was like, no fucking way.
Yeah, dude. They get surrounded and he goes, "Give him the forecast."
Like, this is episode 1.
Yeah, dude. And you're dropping lines like that.
Imagine how good the finale is if we're getting shit like this in episode 1.
That's what I'm saying.
The voice acting's great. The animation is perfect.
It looks so good. I cannot explain how fucking good it looks.
The
dude.
score is amazing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so fucking in.
Yeah, dude.
On
I
this
remember
show.
when you showed me the trailer, and it was like, Professor X, and all this stuff's happening, and then it does the little chime of the original theme. I was like, oh my god, dude.
I want to binge that quickly.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so excited to watch that.
Me and you are gonna get nasty in some 97, dude.
Yeah. And then once I finish 97, I downloaded, I've been looking into, like, apps where you can read comics.
Uh-huh.
Because comics are expensive. And
They are, and they're kind of like a pain in the ass to find.
yeah, and I like buying used stuff, and most of the time, the place I go doesn't have what I want.
Yeah.
So I was looking into like apps where you can read Marvel and DC comics, and DC has a week free trial on DC Infinite, which is like their comic subscription where you get every DC comic. And right now I'm reading Kingdom Come.
Hell yeah. I have Kingdom Come.
Oh yeah,
You could have just borrowed it.
yeah. I don't know, but yeah, once I finish like my week on DC, I might get Marvel Unlimited and start reading some X-Men comics because the X-Men are just really
They
cool.
look so cool, dude.
They're really cool,
They're
and there's
dripped
so
out.
many of them that like unless you read the comics, you're never gonna get like a full grasp on the X-Men because
Well, that's the cool
can
thing.
Only do so many.
Yeah, that's the cool thing about them too. Is like there's so many, and they all have different personalities. Like you're always gonna find someone you connect with, like some character that you see yourself in a little bit.
Yeah. So next time we record, we'll probably have a couple more episodes of X-Men 97 to talk about. But this week, Trap comes out.
Really excited for that.
So we'll be talking about that. Hopefully we can see that Thursday. And I'm not sure what. Maybe we'll do like a Shyamalan ranking.
We do that.
There's a couple I need to watch.
I can tell you what's going to be at the bottom. I think we all know.
Can
what's
you?
gonna... Huh?
I mean, there's a couple candidates.
No, I know what's at the bottom.
I've heard After Earth's pretty bad.
You know what I'm going to put at the bottom.
The Village.
No.
Yeah, Avatar.
Yeah.
It used to be The Village.
It used to be The Village. I wish I could have still held on to that, but
Yeah.
now that I realize how good Avatar is, and I realize how not that is.
Do you think a good Avatar movie's possible?
Yeah, I mean, I think
Live
it's possible.
action?
Yeah. I think it's possible, but I just don't think it's going to happen. And plus, like, why would you not
But
want...
that story's so big.
It is, but, like, you put talented people behind stuff. Like, if someone said Denis was going to do a live-action Avatar movie, I'd be like, yeah, he's going to do it. He's going to do it great. He's Denis Villeneuve.
I feel like that might just be, like, something
Or if,
best,
like-
best in animation.
Chad Stahelski was going to do a live-action Avatar movie, I'd be like, fuck yeah, dude.
Do you disagree? Like, I feel like, from what I've seen, that might just be something that is best stuck with animation.
I think it's going to be at its peak form in animation.
Especially considering Aang's a kid,
Yeah.
and, like, kid performances can be rough.
Yeah, I think peak form is animation, but you could do a live action one that's good. I just don't know what, like, I don't know why people keep trying to do live action like animes.
Did you try watching the live action Netflix show?
I did.
It was bad.
I didn't. It wasn't bad. I just like I watched the first episode and I told myself, I was like, why am I doing this? Like, why would you watch that if you've
It's like the
seen
Cowboy Bebop show.
Yeah, like if you've seen the
good one.
Yeah. I
Just
don't know.
watch the good one.
Yeah. But even if they were equally as good, like I would watch the beautiful animated one instead.
Because stop remaking shit.
Yeah.
If you have the rights to Avatar, do a sequel series.
Yeah.
Do a prequel. Do something different. Don't just remake the thing that people already like.
Like if you're doing like if I found out someone was doing a live action Akira, why the fuck would I watch that?
I mean, I'd watch it, but like, but that's also like a movie. I guess maybe movie adaptations are a little different, but
dude, they did a live action Dragon Ball Z. What the fuck's going on?
like what's the best like live action version of an animated thing? Like, what's the best that has ever been made?
The Grinch.
You might be right. I love Jim Carrey's Grinch.
It might be The Grinch, dude. That's the first thing that came to mind.
That's a good question. Like, I'd have to go on my letterbox and try to figure that out.
It is. I still think I have a good answer, though. I think
What?
The Grinch was a really good answer.
Yeah, no, it is.
Yeah.
I forget that. Well, technically, that's based on a book, right? Dr. Seuss.
Yeah. I think so. But the original movie was a cartoon.
Yeah, I know, but the movie's an adaptation of the book.
Yeah. But everything's an adaptation of a book.
No, it's not.
Damn near everything.
Avatar's not.
Avatar's just a league of its own, dude.
Yeah.
It's so fucking...
Yeah. I don't know if I'm ever going to actually finish that.
Yeah, it's only for, like, really cool guys.
You want to see something funny, though?
What's that? What is he credited as that?
I don't know what movie that is. I just saw it on Twitter. It's a letterboxed, like, cast list, and it says Josh Hartnett playing White Man.
That might be Sin City.
Oh, really?
Because when I looked him up, I just Googled it. I didn't look at it on Letterboxd, but he was credited as Man. So it might be more specific on Letterboxd.
Let me see what it says for Sin City. Oh, it says The Salesman.
Oh,
Sin City.
damn.
I don't know what movie it is, but I just thought that was funny. Just White Man.
White Man.
But yeah, we've had we wanted to do a long episode since we missed 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So hopefully that's our longest episode yet.
Yeah, dude, it's
3.5.
It's past my bedtime.
Yeah, and my little man's back hurts.
Dude, it hurts so fucking bad.
Because you're choosing uncomfortable spots.
This has helped it.
Dude, you could have laid on
My
the bed
back
and, like, propped
after
up.
this, my back has I can't be propped up. After this, my back feels better, but it still just hurts so fucking bad.
Damn, did you pull something?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Are you gonna sleep with that here?
God damn, I am. You know I am, dude.
But yeah, anyways, really long episode, but I wanted to try to make up for the time lost. It's kind of like a bonus episode.
Yeah.
We do about an hour and a half each time.
Yeah.
2 hours. This is kind of like we did 2 episodes at once. So,
Really, you're welcome.
yeah. Yeah. But thank you for listening to the film fucking
Damn, I messed the fucking.